G'day guys and welcome to your English Aussie. Welcome to Game Week 28 deadline stream. As you can see, I do have a new setup with the mic here, and we are going to go through all of the sort of issues, transfers, injuries, suspensions, everything should be coming up on screen for you guys now. And we will talk through maybe some of the key news, and maybe we can pause and go through also each team and just talk through sort of some of the observations that we've had and who is in and out at the moment. Hope you've all had a good break and are all rested and ready for this. For once in a lifetime, we have a good timing for Australian viewers, so good for you guys, good for me. I am up at a normal time. It's 7 p.m. So anyone that's out here watching the Oz side, thank you, and welcome to the stream. Remember, if you do have team reviews that you'd like to do, please post below your team ID in the chat, and I will do a review up on the screen. This will be my team for the upcoming game week. I'm running with Pickford in goal. I've got Mykolenko at the back and Aït-Nouri on the bench. I just have a feeling that Wolves without Cunha, who's out because of that suspension, might be an issue this season. And I do need to remember to speak into the mic. So if I'm going like this and looking away and you can't hear me, let me know down below, because that is going to be something that I notice. Yeah, so Trent, Mykolenko and Timber at the back. I do have some worries around rotation over the next couple of weeks. These are really the weeks that you're going to want your players to be there and to be in those games. So yeah, I am concerned a little bit about Timber with Ben White back from injury, and I'm also concerned maybe slightly with Isak, although it has said that he's going to be back, and also Dango, which is why I've benched him this week. Sorry, just replying on Twitter to somebody. Yep, so midfield, Salah as captain, still running with Mo. I think he's still the best captain for everybody at the moment. I would say Palmer, for me, it's form over form and fixtures, really. Like Salah, just fantastic form. I wouldn't be worried too much about the minutes. I think Liverpool sort of, yes, they have players to rest him, but Salah's trying to break records this season, so I'd be expecting him to play. Maybe he come off for like 80 minutes or something like that, but Niels, morning, mate. Gap's closing. What are you on at the moment? What's your rank at the moment, mate? Yes, it's. I feel like I've had a good last couple of game weeks. Morning, Gary. How are you going, mate? Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a few weeks. Must be because of the dodgy timings. So good to have you back as well. Yeah, I feel like last couple of weeks have actually gone all right for me. Previously, sort of game week 25, 26 were just shambles, really. Foggy, welcome, mate. Welcome back. Good to see you. Lots of good old heads poking up at the moment. Got to get my FPL Gameweek going so I can make sure to do the team reviews for you guys. I forgot my own team ID. How crazy is that? Type this in every week. That's it. There we go. check my own league, see how I'm going. There's a bunch of you guys now that are killing me in my own league. Oh, yeah, Niels, 5 points, mate. 5 points. You caught 1 point on me. Nice. Very nice. Interesting you starting Mikolenko over 8 Nuri. Yeah, I did put some thought into that this week. I just thought with Cunha being out for Wolves, I actually just preferred that fixture. And I felt like Trent v Southampton, Timber at Man United. I felt like 8 Nuri versus Everton was sort of the weakest fixture out of those 5 defenders. Even though I brought him in based off chat advice last week, which got me nowhere. Didn't need to bring him in. Didn't even need him this week. Could have rolled the transfers, guys. Saved him for my wild card, which is likely going to be in game week 30 now. I put a lot of thought into sort of what my plans are going to be post game week 29. I didn't really feel like a video was worthwhile for sort of chip strategy. I think everyone that's posted videos on chip strategy, like, nothing's really changed. Most of the videos that I've watched from the content creators have been a bit of a waste of time. I would say that the one thing that's sort of changed is it does feel like game week 34 might be a little bit easier to navigate through. But I think ultimately, like, you can't really make a call on this until midway through game week 29 when the FA Cup games are played. So I think my thoughts are wait for those games, see what the results are, see what the teams are that are doubling, see what the teams are that are blanking in 34, and then it's a little bit easier to make a call on what your strategy is going to be. I think for me at the moment, game week 30 seems like it's definitely the week to wildcard. I know there's going to be a lot of people saying, oh, you might not know when the doubles are going to come out, but it doesn't matter. Like, it really doesn't matter. I've looked at the schedules. I've looked at when the doubles could come out. And realistically, like, they're going to double at some point over those weeks. So you're going to be bringing in those players. And you just got to sort of look at as soon as you have the results of 29, you're going to know what teams you want to sort of hedge towards. And I think it's very unlikely that I hold my wild card past game week 30 and wait for 31 and wait for the doubles to come out. I'm pretty sure I will be playing it in game week 30. It does make a lot of sense. But for me, I'm going to put out a video game week 29 as soon as the FA Cup semis are over. I'm definitely going to get a chip strategy video out for you guys to talk through sort of, the best options going forwards. Rodwell Africa, hey mate, Cunha for what other forward beside Isak and Wood? Yeah, I mean, I think that's the question everyone's been asking this week. I think for me, there are a few options that you can consider, and it sort of depends on what your chip strategy is. So are you free hitting in 29, or are you looking to manage your way through 29 and then maybe wildcard in 30 and 31, Rodwell? If you are, like, I think a lot of people are trying to manage through 29. I think the options for me, wildcard 30, yeah, so similar to me. So, yeah, I think that's probably like who's the best striker for a 2-week punt in that case, if that's what you're going to do. So, for me, I would say a couple of options you've got are Evan Ilson at Bournemouth. A little bit punty. Obviously, you're not 100% sure on the minutes, but he did start in the FA Cup ahead of Dango in the number 9 role. And Tottenham and Brentford are 2 quite nice fixtures. The other one being Beto at Everton. Going to be starting against Wolves and West Ham. 2 nice fixtures. And then the third, I think, being Mamouche of Man City, assuming you're not going to be able to get up to Haaland. Is Haaland worth bringing in, Justin? I think Haaland is someone to be worth considering on the wild card, which would probably be a game week 30 wild card. I'm not sure it's worth it right now. Like, Nottingham Forest is going to be a tough game. I know City tactically have sort of worked a few things out offensively. I think their sort of introduction of Marmoush that also sort of comes in and has played as a second striker role next to Haaland has been really nice, because what it's meant is that when Haaland's been occupying, often he occupies two defenders, and people have been playing sort of the five at the back, one man marking Haaland this season. Since Southampton implemented it early in the season, that's been the go-to for stopping him. And that's allowed Marmoush, when he moves up into that second striker role, to often have a little bit of space and be able to run in behind, because you can't have both your centre-backs occupying Haaland, or at least one man marking him, and you've got to be watching those runs in behind from Marmoush. And if you saw a couple of City goals recently, it's been sort of long ball from Edison over the top, and he's just sprinted in behind. So I think that opens up possibilities for both Haaland and Marmoush, is now that, you know, Haaland can't be sort of doubled up on as much, means that he might have a little bit more space, be able to create a little bit more. And also for Marmoush, meaning that sometimes when teams do decide, you know what, we're just going to stop Erling Haaland scoring goals, he's going to be able to find those little pockets of space, which I think sort of Phil Foden hasn't really managed to do as much until they moved Savio out to that left wing role. So yeah, for me, I think Haaland's nice. For me, it's probably 29-30 that I'd look to bring him in at. For me, it works better at game week 30, just because the makeup of my team, I don't have the transfers to move for him without like sort of just wasting a bunch of transfers in 29. So I think for me, if I'm going to go Haaland, I bring him in from 30 against Leicester. I think that makes the most sense, Justin. Again, like Nottingham Forest, not that easy a game. Brighton been in great form recently since that 7-0 drubbing at Forest. They've been like win. So, yeah, not the easiest two games for City from an offensive standpoint. Niels, what are my thoughts about letting go of Salah next game week? I'm 80% sure of doing it. I'm 80% sure you're crazy. Shall we just pull up Mo Salah just for you, Niels? Come on, I know you're going to hate me for this, but should we just pull up Mo Salah recent performances and then discuss why you're planning on getting rid of him? Let me get him up on the screen. Mo Salah. Can't be serious, Niels. Come on, man. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at his... sorry, I'm not on the screen. 6, 14, 12, 8, 13, 16, 8, 3, 2, 7, 16, 9, 21, 5, 18, 13, 13, 14, 9, 10, 12. Come on, man. Come on. You can't be getting rid of him. He returns in every week. Like, what other player returns in every week? He is worth a lot of money, but I feel like your team value must be like 105 mil at the moment. Like, at the moment, I have no issues with like money and team value. And I feel like even on my wildcard in 30, I've sort of done a mock wildcard, which maybe I'll also share with you guys. I have no issues for money. I've got like 1 mil in the bank after a wildcard, and I don't want anybody else. I haven't really looked at a Haaland draft, so maybe that's where you're looking to go. And maybe that's what the reasoning is for getting rid of Salah. But otherwise, for me, I can't see it as an option. He's trying to break the records for Liverpool this year. He's trying to beat Henry's assist record. He's trying to probably beat Haaland's goals record. He's on 25 goals and 17 assists. Like, I couldn't do that. I couldn't move him. It's just absolutely mental. We've never seen anything like this in FPL. We've never seen anything like this. It's not, for me, it's just nah. You prefer to keep Palmer over Salah? I can't support that. Can't support that. Spurs, Brentford, Ipswich are nice, but I don't know how I feel about that. So you're telling me you prefer these Palmer fixtures and Palmer, who's been struggling recently. I do think he'll turn it around, probably this week. Tottenham, Brentford, Ipswich 30 to 32. Liverpool have Everton, Fulham, West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham. Like, basically have the same teams. In fact, they have the exact same teams. They're playing the exact same teams from game week 30 to 34. Liverpool and Chelsea have the exact same 5 teams. Tottenham, Brentford. Oh, no, sorry. Just West Ham for Brentford. Tottenham, Brentford, Ipswich, Fulham, Everton. Everton, Fulham, West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham. Okay, not quite the same teams. But pretty much like Ipswich and Brentford versus West Ham and Leicester are the 2 differences. Like, that is basically the same thing. Basically the same thing. Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't. I don't think I could. I don't think I could do that. I don't think I could move off Salah at all. I'd look at, if you're already going to do that, I think you got to try and find a way to get all 3 in your team. I think you do have to find a way of getting all 3 in your team. It's probably possible. Probably possible. Remember, Liverpool won't get a double again. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me. Everyone's going to play the same amount of games through the season. Salah's going to score more points than everyone else. If you're targeting somebody in the double, that's different to me. Like, if you want to target bringing in a little swing, bring in Haaland for a double game week or something like that. But Chelsea are not going to double again this season either. So, yeah, I think I'd definitely have Salah over Palmer for the rest of the season. Definitely. And I also don't buy into this Salah over Ramadan. It's not as good. Malarkey. I read on somewhere on Twitter. I can't remember who posted it. I think it was like FPL mate or something. I was like, come on, man. Or maybe he posted again, like saying that was not true. You will end up captaining Isak, Haaland, and Palmer over this period. Palmer is cheaper. I'm probably going to keep captaining Salah. I'm going to captain Salah in 30 against Everton. I'm 31, yeah, 31 maybe. 31 and 32 might be Isak. 33, I'm going to captain Salah against Leicester. 34, I'm going to captain Salah against Tottenham. Maybe from 35, Liverpool's games are a bit tougher. Chelsea, Arsenal, Brighton, Palace. If you want to take him out from game week 35, I can support that. But again, if Liverpool have wrapped up the league by then, everyone's just going to be passing the ball to Salah to get goals and assists to break the records. That is literally what I've seen Liverpool do it before. Game week 33 likely to be a double and free hit him in 34. Yeah, I guess it depends on what teams to double in 33. And you'll free hit him in 34. All right. But I mean, yeah, I understand. But even if you're not captaining him, I'd still rather have him in my team than Palmer. You're not going to captain Palmer in any of those doubles. I don't think you're going to captain Palmer over Salah in any game week. Don't think you're going to captain Palmer or Salah until game week. Yeah, you're not. I wouldn't captain Palmer over Salah in any fixture for the rest of the season. Is that a bold call? I'm looking at them. I'm comparing them right now. Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, Everton. I'm gonna captain Salah. Liverpool versus Fulham, Chelsea versus Brentford. 31. That's probably the closest one. Newcastle play Leicester, probably captain Isak. Liverpool, West Ham, Chelsea, Ipswich. 32, but Newcastle were going to double, so it'd probably be Isak. The 2.5 mil difference you can use game week 30. Mate, I don't think that... I think it depends on what your wildcard team is. Should we try? Should we try and do a wildcard team? And like maybe we discuss. Let's do it. Let's talk it through. Wildcard 30 team. Wildcard 30 team. All right. I have a lot of views on this. Just FYI. I did quite a bit of analysis into 30 and like what the best defensive rotation is, 30 onwards. So I think Nottingham Forest is like an absolute lock from then onwards. Like they have such a great fixture run. Like if you look at them from 30 onwards. Even on the FDR, which is the most terrible thing I've ever seen. Like you can still see it's just superb. So Sells has got to go in. I think one of their defenders has got to go in. I'm probably going to go Milenkovic for the goal threat. And Chris Wood is the GOAT of FPL. So I'm going to have 3 Forest players. I don't have assistant managership, so it's not something that I'm considering in terms of like manager. I probably wouldn't go with Forest anyway, but just FYI for everyone. My backup keeper is going to be someone that has a double game week. At the moment, Palace could have 2, so I probably just go with Henderson. But like that could change based off game week 29 FA Cup results. Matty Allen, hey bro, good to see you. Everton still rocking and rolling. David Moyes, the saviour. Bunch of injuries at the moment. It's tough for you guys because I think you're just sort of picking up a bit ahead of steam and going nice. Yeah, good to see you, mate. Hope last game week went well. We're just going through a wildcard 30 draft. We're sort of discussing Luca. Hey, bro, welcome back. I haven't seen you for a while, Luca. Feels like it's been a long time. I know the timelines have been terrible for these deadline streams over the last few weeks, so it's been bit of a nightmare for any like Aussie guys. Or this sort of southern hemisphere. Yeah, terrible, mate. I totally understand. I've not wanted to get up to stream, mate. I'll be honest. I have not wanted to get up to stream. But I've been getting up at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 0 hours sleep. So this is an absolute I think for the rest of the season, it's pretty good. I think there's one game week that is crappy, but I am actually in Europe playing cricket for Cyprus at the time. So that will not be an issue. So yeah, I think obviously Forest fixtures really nice defensively going forwards. I think Wolves fixtures also really nice defensively going forwards. So I'm going to stick Ain't Nuri in there. Obviously with Cunha being, just FYI guys, we're going through a wildcard 30 team. This is going to be our sort of like what we think going forwards. Playing for Cyprus, yeah. I got picked for the Cyprus national cricket team, so I'm playing out there. At the end of March this year, I'll be playing some local games, and then hopefully in August I'll get picked for the like international T20 stuff. So yeah, very exciting times. Very exciting times. Maybe I'll do a live stream from over there. I probably won't, but I've got to try and fly under the radar. Maybe once I establish myself, I'll do some live streams of what's going on. Do they cover my expenses? They cover flights and accommodation, but because they're still like a small country, they don't have the budget at the moment. So like what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring through players. So they changed the regulations recently that you don't need to live in the country. You just need to have a passport. So yeah, they're trying to get more funding from the ICC, trying to get up the standings at the moment. Get a few more people in. Just got back from my game today. Lost, but took 2 for. Was on a hat-trick. Oh! What was the hat-trick ball? Was it a wide? Because I've seen, like, it just always happens to me. Like, hat-trick ball, I'll just, like, bowl one down the leg side or something. Just feel the pressure. Feel the pressure of the hat-trick ball. I was watching one the other day. I was watching, like, European Cricket League. I just saw this guy bowl a no ball and then a wide on hat-trick ball. Yeah, anyway, going through Game Week 30 wildcard team. We're going to sort of talk through like best defensive rotations and stuff. I've to be honest, I've already done research into this, so I can talk through with some backing to this. I would say Man City fixtures are the next best sort of defensive fixtures from this week. Forest, Brighton, then Leicester, Man United, Palace, Everton, Villa, Wolves, Southampton. I mean, really all the way through to the end of the season, they're really nice. So I'm going to go with Guardiola. I was saying the last few weeks, like he was looking a little bit more attacking, but then this week against Tottenham didn't really show that as much. No, I wasn't always just standard front foot defence. That's good, mate. That's good. At least you made him play on the hat-trick ball. That's what you want to see. Still stuck around 500k rank. Am I inside the 50k yet? I'm 61, mate. 61. I had a decent week last week. I dropped maybe like 5k rank. But I'm thinking like back end of the season, if I make the right calls, I should make maybe potentially top 20k, maybe top 10k. Obviously, I'm still trying to win, but a long way to go for that. Got to hit it. Gamer! I told you I was going to give you this reaction this time. Let's go! Gamer's also great on the comments for all my videos in the week. Always appreciate you, mate. Helping my videos get out there to more people. I did promise I'd give you a fan favourite reaction when you join the stream this week. So, nice to see you, mate. Outside of these three guys, I think those are the three best defenses from sort of 30 onwards. And then like probably just, I would say my favourite defenders at the moment is just like Munoz of Palace. Palace are probably going to have at least one double. I was only 3 above average, 55 I think. Best times to climb ranks end of season with chip strategies and double game weeks. Yeah, agree. But I feel like I got a bit screwed with the AM chip. Like, I would have definitely held it to later in the season. I think like 31, 32, 33 might be really nice for AM chip. But it is also a bit of a pain, like sort of managing that chip around now when you've got loads of chips that you want to be playing. So I was a bit frustrated because I would have triple captain Salah when he got the like 29 pointer. But yeah, hopefully I can make the right decisions. I would say I'm planning to wildcard in 30, Luca. I think like we're going to know in 30 what teams are going to blank in 34 and what teams are going to double. And yeah, we might not know what weeks they're going to double in, but realistically, like we're going to know the teams. So we're going to be targeting those players anyway. And I'm genuinely considering like wildcard 30. I know what teams in 32 are doubling, which are Palace and Villa. And I'm pretty likely to have Henderson as my second keeper, as you can see here, Munoz, and I'll probably have Mateta. So I could have triple Palace, and I'm definitely going to have triple Newcastle, which leads me on to my next defender here, because I think the Newcastle fixtures, more so from an attacking perspective, but also from like defensive, is reasonable. Like West Ham blank, then Brentford not so easy, but Leicester, Man United, Villa okay, Ipswich, Brighton, like that's pretty good going through to 35. Yeah, wish I went Salah TC and then Emery Glasner. Yeah, that would have been ideal. That'd have been ideal, Luca. So I think Newcastle defense, like for me, is like this pick is a bit up in the air who it's going to be. But for now, I'll just put Livramento. But it could easily be Dan Burn. Or could be Fabian Schär. It could really be anyone in that Newcastle back line. Just got to maybe have a look who starts this week for them. If Livramento is starting, I think he's the one to go for. Should you bench boost or use triple captain in game week 32? Look, honestly, like there's a lot of strategies at the moment. And like I said, I don't think it's obvious what strategy it is, but I think it will become obvious after 29 and after we see who's doubling and blanking. Because I think your team will just make way more sense. No Arsenal defence is my plan. My plan is no Arsenal defence. I think the fixtures for Arsenal are okay, but like I genuinely believe that this rotation, you have the most good fixtures, and I don't know how to sort of show this. I do have something where I sort of like I did I've got this all on Excel, like I did. I'm such an Excel nerd. I wonder if I can show you my Excel spreadsheet. It looks a bit disgusting. Looks a bit disgusting. It does look a bit disgusting. But I'll show you anyway. This is what I run like. I mean, I run a lot of. Can you actually see that? You can't really see that well, can you? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the best I can do. You can't see the teams on the left though, can you? Yeah, I got to work that out. I guess you can see the team names, right? Like in this sort of section here. And like these are the teams that have the most like good fixtures between 30 and 38. And I sort of wanted to target all the best defenses over that period. And like I did my own FDR tracker based off the league table and who I thought were the best defenses at the moment and the worst attacking teams. And it basically landed me on pretty much 6 teams, which was Forest, Wolves, City, Newcastle, Bournemouth. But I just liked Munoz. So I scrapped the Bournemouth defence and went Munoz. I think Arsenal were there and thereabouts, but didn't have like the greatest fixtures against like the most likely teams to keep clean sheets. Anyway, this is a bit wacky, but yeah, I'll get off this because it's a bit convoluted. But yeah, that's sort of my spreadsheet where I keep all of the statistics and stuff for my videos, and something that maybe like if I put together what do you call these subscribing to the channel sort of thing, membership stuff, like monthly membership stuff. I might make that like a Google Doc. Everyone can go in and look at the stats. They can filter. They can do their own tweaks to it, like make their own analysis and stuff. So maybe that'll be quite cool for people. Luca, thinking about Savinho for 2-week punt, Brighton and Leicester before selling on wildcard 31. Was on my moosh for a bit, but I'm a bit put off now. Still can't understand no Arsenal defense, Niels. Well, let's have a think about it. So I think it's a valid point. Like obviously Arsenal, great defense. Who would you go for in this back line? Like I would say Gabriel, number 1 option, right? But even if we look at Arsenal this season, I don't know how many they have kept like 9 clean sheets, haven't they? Yeah. I also like Calafiori. I think if he starts for Arsenal more, like comes into that team a little bit, he could be really nice. Timber, I'm concerned about rotation with Ben White a little bit. I am a little bit concerned. Saliba, obviously a bit less of a goal threat than Gabriel. So I think Gabriel's sort of your number 1 option. Like I'm happy to have an Arsenal defender in here. Like I would probably have the money after I finish doing this. Yeah, I agree. I sort of agree, Luca. I sort of agree. Like I think all of these guys have, like I think Gvardiol has attacking threat, Munoz has attacking threat, Milenkovic has attacking threat. Bryce, hey bro, excited for this game week. Used 2 free transfers already. Sold Lewis Hall, heartbreaking, and Jacob Ramsey for Clivert and Kirkes. Wonderful picks, mate. Wonderful picks. Great use of those 2 free transfers. We're just running through like a wildcard 30 draft that we're just chatting through together a little bit. Would have been better off rotating Hall, Munoz, Nico. Yeah, I think I kind of agree. Like I see your point, Niels. Like Gabriel, obviously a good defender, but just sort of functionally, like let's work it out. We might have money for Gabriel at the end here. Like this is, I always find it's a little bit more difficult at the start, but once we get to the end, we can tweak some stuff around, and things maybe look a little bit easier. If you really want, who would you put him in for? If you definitely wanted Gabriel here, like I think Forest, you got to keep a Forest defender because the Forest fixtures are just insane. I also think Gvardiol, the City fixture is insane. He's most attacking, and Munoz is just beautiful, just beautiful defender. I like him too much. But I could see him move for Gabriel. And I can see one of these two if you wanted to move Livramento. I think Munoz, Livramento, or 8 Nuri is more valid. Livramento is probably in there because he's going to double in 32. But if Arsenal double in 33 or whenever they could potentially double if West Ham make it through the FA Cup, then yeah, maybe Gabriel comes in for a double instead. Ain't Nuri same like Wolves' defense. Like if they're just crappy, like yeah, he could be a Gabriel. Like I think I understand. I just think price wise, this sort of worked, and the rotation's really nice. If you look at it, like really nice over the next 4 weeks from 29 to 32, you've got 3 or 4 great fixtures for all those players, and then all the way to 37, you've got at least 2 nice fixtures. Yeah, agree, Luke. I wouldn't feel comfortable not owning Gabriel in a double with his high ownership. You take one of Forest players for either mate. Forest fixtures are so good. Ipswich can't score a goal. United can't score a goal. Sorry to the United fans. Villa, not so easy. Everton, mid. Spurs, mid. Brentford, mid. Palace, decent fixture. Leicester, great fixture. West Ham, pretty good fixture. I don't know. I think those fixtures for Forest are nice. Are really nice. I'll say goals-wise, like pretty much all of these teams are bottom 10. West Ham, Leicester, Palace, Everton, United, Ipswich. That's like 6 of those. 6 of the next 10. Oh, and that would be 6 of the last like 8 or 9. 6 of the last 10 with Ipswich. Which I think is pretty good for defensively to be like 6 of the bottom 10 for goals scored. And you're also playing Leicester and Ipswich. Liverpool predicted lineup and minute man. Message retracted. What was the message? I missed it. Damn it. I like to see the retracted messages. Come on, post again, mate. What have you got? What have you got for me? Bench 1, Wisser and Bumo, Dango Wood, Dango. I think that Evan Nilsson starts for Bournemouth. Matt, Liverpool predicted lineup a minute managing. Yeah, so I was saying earlier, I think Salah's going to start, Trent's going to start. Trent mostly because they don't have any cover at right back at the moment. Conor Bradley's out. Yeah, they got Jarrell Quansah. He's not going to start at right back for Liverpool. Regardless of like PSG game after, I think Trent can come off early. I think Liverpool are going to want to put Southampton away ASAP. If they put them away ASAP, there'll be some minute management. If I'm honest, I don't expect it to be Salah. I expect Salah to play 80 to 85 minutes. I think it might be. He might get when he normally comes off. If he comes off like 87, 88, right? He might come off at like 78, 80, but he's going to play long because he's trying to break records at the moment. He's trying to break Henry's record. He's trying to break, like look at this, 25 goals, 17 assists. He's trying to break Haaland's record and Henry's record for assists in the same season, and he could do it. He could score the most ever goals and get the most ever assists in the same season. I would say Gakpo's unlikely to start. Just based off training, hasn't trained that much. I thought Darwin Núñez looked really nice against PSG when he came off the bench. He might. I think that one's a difficult one. I almost think that he might actually start the PSG game. There's a chance. There's a genuine chance he starts the PSG game because he really caused them just a different. He gave Liverpool a bit of a different option. So I think like our number 9, the PSG game was the most ludicrous game ever. I have literally we should have been battered. But also, I've got to say, poor finishing, PSG. And, we did restrict them to a lot of outside-the-box shots, of which, obviously, Alisson made so many ridiculous saves. But PSG battered Liverpool. Battered them. Should have won, 3-0. And Harvey Elliott just tucked one away. What a guy. Absolute legend. Absolute legend. I'm going to take Salah back out again of this team. My guess would be Salah. I'm not sure about Diaz. I think Salah starts. I think our back four is probably it's probably going to be Trent and Van Dijk, and then whether they rotate Kanate for Quansah, possible. Just given I know Kanate's playing through a bit of pain still at the moment. Robertson, Tsimikas, toss up, probably rotate. Then I think in the midfield we're probably not going to move that much. I would guess Salah and Diaz play again. I'm guessing Jota starts. Darwin comes on a little bit earlier, maybe 50 minutes, 60 minutes. I think whoever plays the number 9 role is not going to play for a long time. Whether it's Jota or Darwin, I think they don't play many minutes. Because I could see either of them start against PSG. And then in central midfield they'll rotate. They'll rotate a little bit. You might see Curtis Jones. Liverpool 4-0 win against Southampton. Yeah, mate. I mean, if Liverpool don't batter Southampton, it's going to be a problem. You still have Diaz, Luca. Yeah. I think that's a tough one for me, whether I think he's going to start. I think that's a tough one. Let's look at what minutes they came off. They made their subs in that PSG game. Because that actually is relevant. Captain Haaland. Have you got Haaland? Against Nottingham Forest? Nah, man. Not against Nottingham Forest. Just Captain Salah, man. Just Captain Salah. Why is anyone going against Salah? He's the GOAT. When is it the time to bring in Haaland? Who's sacrifice? My view is game week 30. I think on the wildcard in game week 30 really works nicely. You don't have to sacrifice a bunch of transfers, which this year you can roll through the wildcard. So remember that. If you're saving your transfers now, they're still going to be useful past this blank game week 29. If you don't have to use them all, to bundle in Haaland in 29, just don't play your team through 29. City played Brighton. Brighton have been in the good run of form. It's not guaranteed that Haaland's going to bang in the goals against them. This week, tough week against Nottingham Forest. Game week 30 v Leicester, that is where, if you are going to bring in Haaland into your team, that is the week to have him. That is the week to have him in. I can see maybe Curtis Jones starting. For Liverpool. I think there will be rotation, but I don't think it will be the key FPL players. I think Alisson, Van Dijk, Trent, Salah are probably locked. I think anyone else could get rotated. Jack, who are the best Cunha and Dango replacements? I mean, Dango's it's just straight swap for Kluivert, really, in my opinion. Just probably a bit unfortunate, those of us that went for Dango. I think it was the right pick at the time. Gamer, I'll do your ID, mate. I'll do it now. Cunha, I think we spoke about. Obviously, depends what your other players are, Jack. But I would say Wissa is up there. Mamouche is up there. Evan Nielsen is up there. If you're planning to wildcard in 30, it's who's got the best 2-week period? Beto, I would say. For me, the best three are probably Beto, Evanilson, and Wissa. If you're wildcarding in 30, that is. If you're not wildcarding in 30, then obviously it's a bit longer term look, and then Man City is a little bit nicer. Then I would probably say maybe a Mummish, maybe like if you need to right now Haaland, but I think it's tough to make the transfers to get into Haaland at this time. Gamer, oh sorry, I'm not showing the right screen. Let me show your team, mate. Sorry, did I miss any? No, I don't think I missed any other questions. Cool. Yeah, so nice Hendo in goal. Hendo and Alisson. So you got the issue of the two blanking next week. I think we talked about this last week, didn't we? That we needed to deal with the goalie. Have one transfer left, transferred Cunha to Beto. I spoke to you in midweek about this. I don't think you need to make another transfer. I think you probably play this team, right? So Liverpool v Southampton, I'm probably backing Alisson over Henderson v Ipswich. I'd be Alisson in goal. Kirkes, Aina, Robinson. You got Bournemouth v Tottenham, not ideal, but Kirkes you're going to keep in your team anyway. Forest v City, obviously not ideal, but their fixtures pick up so nicely that you're not going to get rid of Aina, and he doesn't blank in 29. And then Robinson, you got Fulham versus Brighton, which I guess is probably one of the guys in your team that maybe look to move, because Fulham's fixtures get nasty. They've got Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool, Bournemouth, Chelsea over the next 5 after Brighton. But I think for this week, you got to stick with him. And then in Mbumo, Salah, I would bench Dango, Palmer, Rogers, and then you got Wood, Beto, Isak. That's your 3-4-3. You got Dango first on the bench, and then you got obviously Ashley Young and Hall. Is a bit of a nightmare, but I'm imagining next week you have Isak, maybe Isak, Salah, and Rogers on the bench, and then you got to get rid of Hall. My audio's coming through proper quiet. Let me turn it up then. I got a new mic, so I'm trying to work it out, but I think maybe this will be a bit better. Tell me if that's a bit better, Matt. I've got like this, I bought a new mic. I was trying to get the audio quality up a little bit better. So yeah, let me know if this is sort of better volume for everyone. Maybe I just need to speak louder. Hopefully it's a lot clearer. Like there's no background noise, a bit crisper sound. I'm hopeful that the new mic's really making things a bit better. Tiger and Guna, mate, how are you? Haven't seen you for a long time. Nice to see you back on the channel. Yeah, I think the only thing you could maybe do this week, Gamer, is actually you could move Lewis Hall. You definitely could move Lewis Hall this week. My volume's low. Hopefully I've just turned it up and it's better. Much better? All right, nice one, guys. Thanks for letting me know that. Obviously just trying to work it out with the new setup. This is the first time I've used this mic, so yeah, if you do notice any issues, like give me a shout in the chat, and I'm always happy to sort of work things out. But yeah, hopefully like way better quality. And yeah, now I know, turn this up. Yeah, trying to continuously improve my channel and my stream. So yeah, hopefully that's another plus in the column for me. So yeah, I think Lewis Hall maybe, Gamer, you can actually move this week, and then you can look at like either Kirkes, Aina, or Robinson benching them, whoever you like the least. I'd probably say I don't know who I like the least. Maybe Kirkes against Tottenham. Fellow Safas in the chat. Yeah, I think Lewis Hall can go. I think if you're going for a defender, You're probably going to wildcard in 30, 31. So you want to look at best defense for the next 2 game weeks. They've obviously got a not blank. Honestly, you could go Everton and go Wolves and West Ham over 28, 29. You could go 8 Nuri and go Wolves, and you get Everton, Southampton, and then you also get West Ham in 30. And if you don't wildcard in 31, you got Ipswich as well. So yeah, it would be Hull for 8 Nuri or for Everton defender. I think you can definitely make that transfer this week, Gamer, as a second transfer. And in 29, you've got to move one of your keepers. Bryce, you're up, mate. How'd Josiah get on last week? Hopefully he got some points. Luke are benching Huijsen and Kepa this week versus Tottenham. All right, Tottenham fan. You're backing the lads after that 1-0 loss to AZ Alkmaar. Ryan 8 Nuri Hull. Wait, is that RAN Hull? Is that Ryan 8 Nuri? Hull versus Southampton in 29? Yeah, maybe. That'd be nice. I've got him in. I think I'm going to transfer Hull out, I'm assuming, for an Everton defender 8 Nuri next game week, because I think both Everton and Wolves will score. Fair enough. Yeah, just thoughts like Lewis Hall probably goes down in price a little bit over that time. 8 Nuri probably goes up in price, as does maybe like a Mikalenko. So if you're going to do it anyway, maybe you just do it this week, because you're going to get rid of Lewis Hall. Like, the only thing that's going to happen in 29 is you're going to have more information about an 8 Nuri or Everton defender. Like, maybe they get injured. So if price matters to you, which at the moment, like, I know it doesn't matter to a lot of people, then I'd consider making the move now. If not, then fine. Happy for you to hold going forwards. If you think they're both if you're not gonna start them, then yeah, maybe you can just wait it out. In fact, maybe at this stage you can just wait for the Everton v Wolves fixture. As soon as it finishes, make that transfer. Don't wait any longer, and then maybe you'll skip the price rises. So yeah, try and just make a quick transfer. That's probably a best option. In fact, if you want, I can check live FPL for you, and we'll check the price rises. I know this is just not going to show on the screen very well at all with the way I set up the screen, but 8 Nuri's going to price rise tonight. 8 Nuri's going to price rise tonight. I don't know if there's a way of showing you this, but yeah, 8 Nuri is going to price rise tonight. Everton defender, I'm guessing you probably go Miko. Mikalenko's not going up. Lewis Hall is going to decrease in price tonight. So, yeah, I would recommend making the transfer before. It will be about 12:30 Aussie time, 1 p.m. Aussie time, which is you got enough time to sleep and wake up. No, price doesn't matter. Yeah, if price doesn't matter, then you're good. You can just wait, see if there's an injury. But yeah, if you wake up tomorrow morning and are they playing tonight? Have I lost it? Have I lost my mind? They're playing tonight, no? Oh, they're playing tomorrow night. No, they are. They're playing tonight. Yeah. Straight after the Wolves-Everton game. Just make the transfer then. 7 a.m. Aussie time. I was thinking English time tonight. After that Wolves-Everton game, just make the transfer if you're awake, gamer. I don't know the Safa time zones. Sorry, Brycey. Let me get to you, mate. Just wanted to make sure I gave the best advice. Tiger, you found your ID. My man. Yeah, I'll get to you next. Let me just do Bryce first. You made 2 free transfers already, so no more transfers. Brought Kirkes and Clivert. Beautiful. And you brought them in for Ramsey and Hall. Yeah, nice. So you're back in Bournemouth this week, eh? Backing them against Tottenham. Chat Nwaneri or Beto starting? Beto over Nwaneri, Matov, V. Guys, reminder, if you do enjoy the content, please remember to subscribe, like the video. It's only a small thing, but it really does help the channel. We're really pushing on nicely in subscribers. Even though I've been crazy busy of late, like still been getting out the videos. I think the shorter ones are going really nicely. I got to get back into doing the podcasts on the tactical analysis. Sorry, I just haven't had that much time to do it in the depth that I wanted to. And I didn't want to put like a half-assed video out for you guys. So, yeah, Matov, legend. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Hopefully I can help you out. And if you do have a team ID, mate, chuck it in the chat. I can pull you on screen like these guys. We can talk through your teams. Anyway, Brycey, I think, yeah, obviously you're back you're back in Bournemouth, which Luca is not happy about in the chat. But you've got really no other options. So you go and Kepa, Kirkes, Robinson, Gabriel. Oh, can I? Sorry. Hang about. Yeah, all right. Maybe you got the choice, Kirkes or Robinson, I think, who you play there. Thanks, Gamer. Appreciate you, mate. Have a good sleep, bro. Remember to wake up tomorrow, check the Everton Wolves, and make that transfer as soon as you find out none of them are injured. Or just ping me. Just post on this YouTube video and I'll see it and I'll reply tomorrow morning. I'm playing tennis, but it's all right. I'll have a look. Yeah, so Robinson or Kirkes is probably bench one of those. Bryce, then Palmer, Salah. Mitoma's fit this week, FYI, everybody. Mbumo and Kluivert. So 5 across the midfield. Ooh, and then 2 up front. Wisser, Isaac. João Pedro on the bench. Ooh, that's actually tough to benchings. That is tough benchings this week. So your benching decisions are Mitoma, João Pedro. I think it's one of those two. I don't think you have 2 Brightons against Fulham. Fulham are decent defensively. Mitoma v João Pedro and probably Robinson versus Kirkes. What would I do? I'm going to say do you know what? Let me just look at this. Let me just look at this. I think I'd probably... Mitoma's been in such great form. I'd probably bench João Pedro. Hey, Ali. What's up, bro? And then defensively, Luke is probably going to hate me. Nah, let's go Robinson and mix it up and give yourself 2 chances rather than going all out for the dub. Up to you. If you want to go aggressive, you go Kepa and Kirkes. If you want to sort of spread the risk a little bit, then maybe you go Robinson and Kepa. I think that's what I'd do. I'd probably go Robinson, Gabriel, Kanate, Kepa in goal, Palmer, Salah, Mitoma, Mbumo, Kluivert, and then Wisser and Isaac up top. And she's having a tough week. And she's having a tough year. Tiger and Guna, Pickford or Verbruggen, Robinson or Van Heck, and Murphy or Bowen. Is this? Oh, is it like you're picking who we're playing? I'd go Pickford over Verbruggen. He always finds a way to get save points as well, Pickford, for me. And I think like Wolves without Cunha is a poor gets to score a brace. There's going to be a fight in the chat if that happens. Luca's going to be throwing down hands with Bryce. I think without Cunha, Wolves offensively look way less offensively strong. Do you know why when I put in headphones I can hear you more in my left ear than the other? Sound quality is peak though. Have you got like out ear headphones? If it's out ear headphones, sometimes it's like the settings that you have. But I think it shouldn't be from my side. Shouldn't be from my side. Maybe the connection in the headphones, like the wiring, is a bit effed up. That used to happen with me when my headphones were slightly breaking. But if you got outer ear ones, the only thing I can think of is like how you set up the settings, because sometimes you can set them up. Ali, this week was shaky with red cards and injuries. Yeah, I kind of escaped a little bit, but I know a lot of people struggled this week. I think my sort of planning has been really good. I've sort of not made unnecessary transfers over this period, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, to be honest. Like, sometimes being aggressive picks up those points that other people aren't able to get. But over these last couple of weeks, the aggression has probably screwed a few people over. Sorry, Tiger. So I go Pickford over Verbruggen. Like I said, Wolves less good attacking. Pickford always manages to find save points. Trent, what was your Van Heck or Robinson? Ooh. So you're going Kirkes as well. I'd probably go Robinson, just attacking potential more so than I think either team would keep a clean sheet. But I think Robinson has much more attacking threat, so go Robinson over Van Heck. Salah and Bumo, Clivert, yep. And then you want to go Wood, JP, and Isak up top. So you want to know between Bowen and Wood. Bowen and Murphy. Man, I think I would play Bowen, given that Lewis Hall is out for Newcastle, and Bowen's normally right wing for West Ham, and Lewis Hall is left back for Newcastle. So it's likely that either Trippier goes over to the left, or Livramento plays left and Trippier plays right. I think it will most likely be one of those two, because you'll have Burn and Shah in the middle. So I think that ends me with Murphy benched, but tough one. Like, I'd even say Murphy v João Pedro is pretty tight. Especially given no Anthony Gordon. You probably got Harvey Barnes on the left. Murphy's almost guaranteed to start on the right. I think you're right. I think I'd go with Murphy benched. But also, do you know what? I'd probably bench João Pedro. I know that's a bit of a big risk, but you gone Robinson at the back. Brighton have been so good recently. Bench Murphy. I think that's all right. Bench Murphy. Yeah, it is a bit of a tough one, isn't it, Tiger? I think if you have a strong opinion, you should obviously back yourself. But I think between Murphy and João Pedro, it's a close call. I think I'd play Bowen. And I'm pretty comfortable saying Robinson over Van Heck. But yeah, and Pickford over Verbruggen. But yeah, I think go with your gut on the other one. VC, Bowen and Bumo, Isak, Wood, João Pedro or Clivert. VC. Pointless chip. I mean, Salah's going to start, mate. Don't worry about it. Put it on Pickford. Clivert. Just to wind up Luca a little bit before I do his team. Did anyone else put their team IDs in here before Luca? No. That was the next one. Two 197-148. Yes, sir. All right, what we got going on? 8 o'clock as well. See, flying today. There's no lag in the chat at all. Big fan. It's quite nice when like you can stream at a good time in Oz, because like all of you Aussie guys come on and you're all active in the chat. I'm a big fan of it. Some of my mates said they might rock up in the chat today as well. We had a barbecue in some slightly average weather conditions for Australian purposes anyway today, and I had to kick them out at 5:30 to set up for the stream at 7. So if I do see them in the chat, don't be pleasant to them, because they're not going to be being nice to me. All right, Luca. Have you made any transfers this week, mate? Sorry, I know you've probably told me already in the chat, but I just can't remember. 5:08 over here, PM. Where are you, Tiger? No transfers yet, Luca. Okay. All right, what are we looking at for next week then? You got Salah, Diaz, Isak, Hall. Are you free hitting next week? You got... you're Perth, mate. You're in the past. Old Perth. I can't remember what the joke is. Nisag, Saraya. Should I keep Haaland or Palmer? Keep them both if you got them. No need to sell them. They're both great. Ben, hey mate. Which one would you bench out of Bowen, Clivert, and Bumo and Wood? Ooh, you got a good team if you're benching one of those guys. Probably be Bowen, mate. I'm triggered because I've learned never to bench Chris Wood after I benched him for 17-point hat trick. So never bench Chris Wood. He is the FPL GOAT. Stand by him. Bowen I played just because obviously Newcastle got to work out who's playing left back. Clivert, Tottenham, no comment. But Clivert, play him. And Bumo versus Villa is a pretty good fixture. Villa's not been fantastic defensively this season. Just a shout out, guys, if you do enjoy my content, if you think it's useful and you are being helped, please remember to give it a subscribe. Like the channel. Does really help. I know it's just a small thing for you guys, but definitely helps us grow. Yeah, what's the joke about Perth, Tiger? I can't remember, man. I always hear it in Sydney. It's always like you guys live in the past or something because you're 3 hours behind there. It's always amusing. Sorry, it's probably not amusing for you lot, but it is amusing for me. I don't know the Australian lingo that well, even though I've been here now like 8 years. No free hit. We'll have 3 frees. Diaz, Rogers. Okay. Press the like. Legend Tiger. Can always rely on you, mate. All right. So Munoz, Salah, Diaz, Rogers, Isak, Hall. You got 6 blankers, and you got 3 frees. Oh yeah. So you just transfer. You make 3 transfers. So Hall, Rogers, Hall, Rogers, Diaz out. I like Savinho. I know we didn't finish that wildcard draft for 30, but he would have been in mine. Just as a sneaky hint to you guys, I really like Savinho at the moment. Pep Roulette does kill me a little bit, but I don't know. He started the last 4. I don't know. I can never predict Pep, but at the moment, he's probably my favourite City midfielder. WA stands for wait a while. That's the one. I do enjoy that. Yeah, Savinho I think is a really astute pick, mate. A really astute pick. I think you want to like try and get into Man City over this fixture run, especially from 30, right? 30 to 36, brilliant fixture run. 29's nice against Brighton, so yeah, I think I like sort of Diaz/Rogers to Savinho, Hall to you're going to move in 29. Hall to Nottingham Forest defender. I would say Milenkovic in 29. I think you're looking sweet this week, right? You're not going to make any changes. You don't need to. You got a fine team. And then the final one, another midfielder. Probably Kluivert, man. Probably be Kluivert for me. I think he's a real nice pick for Bournemouth. They're good until 30. The fixtures are good until... The fixtures are fine, really. They have a couple of tough games, like an Arsenal in 35. I think Fulham in 32. City in 37 might not be that bad. So it'd probably be Kluivert for me. I know he's a mainstream pick, but his shooting is just mental. Like, his left foot is an absolute rocket. It's what I aspire. I'm left-footed as well, so it's what I've always aspired to be, but I can't kick the ball that hard. I was going to roll, but I thought it might as well sell Hall to Ryan Aït-Nouri this week, because then I have to start Robinson. I don't know, they could just roll and buy Nottingham Forest defender. Yeah, I think that depends on where you want to go in 29. Like, I think... Like, I obviously believe more in the Forest defence than I do in Wolves. But obviously Wolves' fixtures are so nice. Like, the next four, Everton, Southampton, West Ham, Ipswich. Like, man, you don't get much better than that. And they got Leicester in 34 as well. They got the three worst teams. I mean, really, in the next 7 games, if Wolves could defend, like, you would buy all of their defence. Because it's literally Southampton, Ipswich and Leicester, Everton, West Ham and Man United. Like, 6 of those 7, obviously with Tottenham being the toughest game they could possibly have in 32. The other 6 are the best games you could have from a defensive standpoint. Yeah, and I don't mind Robinson against Brighton. I don't mind him. Aït-Nouri versus Everton. I can see Everton scoring as much as I can see Brighton scoring. So yeah, I mean, go with what your gut thinks. I would probably roll and go Nottingham Forest next week. But I equally as much feel like the Wolves fixture run is as good, if not better, is better than Nottingham Forest to game week 34. Yeah, but they just suck. They just suck and Forest can defend. So that's why I'd go Forest. But yeah. Tiger, what week should I play my AM, bench boost, wildcard and free hit? Is that what you got left? I would say wildcard 30 feels like almost must do. 31 I don't have an issue with, but I think 30 you can gain on the people that go in 31. And I think you have enough information to make the correct decision in 31 and make that wildcard choice then. You should know, but I'll definitely put out a video. I'll definitely put out a video after those FA Cup games. But yeah, I think if you can do it in 30, you just might get that advantage over people that go a week later. Because I think game week 30, there's some nice fixture swings. Like, if you go into Haaland, you got to go in 30 against Leicester, for sure. And Bournemouth play Ipswich that week. Like, you got some nice... Liverpool play Everton, sorry, Matt. Yeah, you do have some nice fixtures that week that you probably want to go into. So 30 for me for wildcard. AM bench boost free hit. Isn't that a question? I think if I had the AM chip. Sorry, I just got to take a moment to think about that because I obviously used my AM chip. I think if I had the AM chip still, the best place to use it is 31 to 33. But that kind of means your bench boost is not going to be as good in 36. And if you wildcard in 30, you're not going to know who the teams are that are going to be doubling in 36. So I'm going to say you use your AM 36 to 38. You get some of those games where potentially teams like Liverpool have already won the league, touch wood, and teams are not fielding their strongest teams, resting players because they've got nothing to play for, and you might be able to get some of those table bonuses. You can then use your bench boost. I think there are two options for the bench boost at the moment. 32, because you know the teams that are doubling, which are Newcastle and Palace. And if you triple up on both of them in the wild card, which is possible, I know Palace a little bit more difficult, but I would recommend tripling up on Newcastle on a wild card. They have some excellent fixtures. And they won't blank in 34. And you could free hit realistically in 33 in a big double and manage 34. But I would say the bench boost free hit, you should wait till you got to wait till after the FA Cup, because it might be that the teams that are blanking in 34 are too difficult to manage through. In that case, you just free hit in 34. But there is a chance that the teams that are blanking in 34 might not be players from teams that you want in your wildcard. Or you might not need too many of them, if that makes sense. Obviously, you're going to want to go with a few of them because they're going to be doubling at some other point. But also, you could easily manage, like, maybe with only 3 of them. And you could look to free hit in 33, attack that, save a few transfers for 34. So it is possible, yeah. I think free hit 33 is something that you could consider, but you don't need to make a decision yet. Wait till the FA Cup fixtures and then make a decision after that. Think about your wildcard team. And on that note, I do love a cheeky double game week free hit. People don't see it coming a lot of the time. And on that note, maybe we should continue on with that wildcard team that we were looking at for game week 30. I know there's mass disagreement on this. I'm sure there will be. So what week wildcard? I would say wildcard 30. Wildcard 30 for me. I think you can get one up on your competition at wildcard in 31. I think most people will wildcard 30 or 31. I think if you wildcard later, it's the wrong decision. If you wildcard late and try and set up for a bench boost in like 36, it's such a waste. You want a wildcard to have the best possible team for as long as possible, not wildcard just for the bench boost. AM Glasner alongside me for his 20-pointer. Yes, my man. Yes, my man. That was big. That AM for Glasner was big. Big. And I was robbed of some other points. Matt Allen robbed me with David Moyes' 2-2 against Liverpool. I'm still salty about that. Got it sorted out. Legend Tiger. I think, like, honestly, guys, like everyone that's on this channel is looking good for the next 8 game weeks. I'm pretty hopeful that we're all gonna improve in rank. And so was a 20-pointer the week after. Shame I had no more weeks on that yet. Yeah, sometimes it happens like that, mate, doesn't it? Sometimes it happens like that. Honestly, like, AM pissed me off. If it wasn't for that double-double, I would have never used it then. And I would have used my AM way better than everybody else. I just think like we talk so much tactically on this channel about like what good games are and like who we should be picking. And like we've got it right so many times. It's just frustrating that we used the AM because it was 2 games in a game week and we knew that we'd get points easier. Oops. Which, look, I guess, you know, we still got probably 12, 13 points each week from slot. Maybe we would have only gained an extra 7. But, everyone went for Moyes and got lucky. Yeah, man. Anyone that went for Moyes got lucky. I'm sorry if I know some people on this channel went for Moyes. But if you did, that was so lucky. So lucky. But good on you. Did well with TC when Salah had his double game week, mate. Fantastic if you TC'd him in that week. That is literally my play until that stupid second double came out. And then I changed course because, I mean, in hindsight, I'd have made the same decision, but obviously it was wrong. At the end of the day, the triple captain was the best play. But yeah, from a maximising points on that AM chip, having the extra game is quite a big thing. So yeah, can't complain. Can't complain. Could have easily got similar amount of points if we'd not had that shambles against Everton in the last minute. So yeah, pretty. Anyway, let's work on this wildcard 30 team. So from an attacking standpoint, I also had a look at the teams with sort of like the best games coming up. Again, Nottingham Forest up there. Newcastle up there. You've climbed a bit with the help of Mo, haven't we all, mate? Niels, off to bed. Any chance for a feedback on my team? Don't think we'll see another 29 pointer. No, we definitely won't. Yeah, mate. I'll get your team up right now, Niels. No stress, my man. Ooh. Have these been there the whole time on this one? I need to hide these. Is this gone weird? This has gone a bit weird, hasn't it? How did that happen? I don't know. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how that happened. Give me a second, Niels. Sorry, mate. $462.35. There we go. Why is this weird? Just bear with me while I fix this, Neil. Sorry, I know you can't see your team. That's it. My apologies, everybody that had to deal with my tragedies. By the way, I benched Wood when Glasner got 20. Was so mad. Felt like the AM pick just got undone. And how Brighton conceded 7, I'll never know what that was. I also benched Wood that week, and I woke up and wanted to murder everybody. Don't murder people. Yeah, that was tragedy. Still stuck between benching Bowen or Watkins now, Ben. How did you end up with Watkins, mate? Put your team ID in the chat, Ben. I'll look at your team in a sec. Let me just do Niels before he goes off to bed. All right, Niels, let's talk through this. Obviously, you're... Okay, Cunha. Have you made any transfers, Niels, so far? This week? Cunha out for someone, probably. Trent, Salah, Munoz... Isaac for next week, so that's fine. You just move one of those guys out next week. 5662 doesn't feel right, Ben, but fair play if you signed up that early. Team, yeah, Munoz, Gabriel, Trent this week looks superb from a defensive standpoint. Salah and Mbumo, Palmer, Bowen, nice. Nwaneri against United. Yeah, got to play him, I guess. And then up top, Wisser and Isak. Maybe you haven't even moved Cunha. Have you not even moved Cunha this week? I mean, you can play that team. You just have Anderson and Mikalenko on the bench with a red flagged Cunha. I mean, that team looks real nice for this week, Niels. I mean, that feels like a green arrow. I think you got to captain Salah, though. Stop captaining Palmer. Don't believe in that Palmer hype. No, I actually think Palmer might come good this week, but I'd still captain Salah against Southampton, even for 80 minutes. But I do think Palmer scores against Leicester. For next week, obviously, you got to transfer out one of those, either Trent or Munoz. I don't know who you're going to go for. It'd probably be for a Nottingham Forest defender for me. Maybe Milenkovic. Perhaps Aina, you have the money. If it's for Trent. I don't mind Trent out. I don't mind it. I just say that. I don't mind it. Morning, Bright. Good to see you, mate. Last week we sell it. So we'll captain him. That's good. You made any transfers yet, Niels, this week? Cunha? No? I think you can roll. Unless there's someone you want to bring in for Cunha that you think this week you want to play over Nwaneri, Wisser. Yeah, I wouldn't want to play anyone over Wisser. Unless you want to play someone over Nwaneri. I'm kind of pretty comfortable with your team. I don't see anyone that's like a glaring pick for this week. Unless it's like Pedro Neto. But obviously not a striker. I like that rogue Pedro Neto pick this week. No, I think you can roll, mate. Honestly, I think you can roll. Do you have a plan of what you want to do? Trying to move this mic stand. Can I rate teams? Yeah, I can rate teams. You might not like my ratings, but I'll rate them. You want to give me your team, Ali? I'll rate it. Waiting for next game week to see if I want Haaland. Yeah, I think roll then, mate. I think there are definitely more options next week. Definitely more options next week. 17 watching. Guys, reminder. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content. If I'm helping you in any way, really appreciate it. Just a small thing, but helps the channel greatly, even though probably doesn't make too much of a difference for you guys. Niels, I'm going to move on to Ben. Brian Marmouche or Wood for Mateta. I can get Haaland next week. What about Beto? If it's a 2-week punt. Yeah, good luck, Niels. Thanks for coming back, mate. Appreciate you. Also, guys in the chat, if you are like, if I was to now create membership, like now that my YouTube's monetized here, what things would you like me to give you access to? Like my fixture difficulty tracker, the XGXA stats that I do. What other things are useful that you'd like to see? Like obviously like priority access to videos before everybody else. Maybe a separate live stream just for those people. Orange Apple, hey bro. Hi mate, saw FPL Harry say that almost everyone isn't free hitting in 29 now. Why is this? As I will have 4 blank fixtures, so going to struggle without free hit. If you can give me your team ID, mate, I can actually have a look at your team and I can maybe suggest how to use your chips the best in the upcoming weeks. Ben, why are you in my chat, mate? You're far too good for me. You're 19k in the world. You're like 30k above me. You don't need to listen to my advice. Go for your own advice. You don't need to listen to us content creators, mate, chatting away. What do we know? Have I thought of a priority Discord? And it's just a lot of work, man. Maybe a WhatsApp. Maybe a WhatsApp I'd be interested in. But like, it's hard. Like, I'm not always on the laptop. I normally am on my phone. And I don't have Discord on my phone. All right, let me get through these then, guys. I'll do Ali and then Orange Apple. So, Ben, sorry, you're thinking between Watkins and Bowen? Benching. So you got Gabriel, Mikolenko. Have you made any transfers this week, Ben? Any tips, Ben? Yeah, any tips for my team, mate? Any tips? You should give me. Can you rate my team afterwards? I'll put it up on screen. You tell me what I should do. Pickford in goal. Gabriel, Mikolenko looks good. Villa play Brentford. Graves has Crystal Palace. Castagna. You maybe go Dino over Castagna this week. Go for the attacking return. I don't know, against Brentford. I feel like Brighton score. Palmer, Salah, Cliver and Bumo. Watkins v Brentford. That's kind of tough, man. I think I'd go Watkins over Bowen. The only annoying thing is Asensio's now on pens for Villa. So that is a little bit of a string to Watkins' bow that he's lost. But he is their main man, man. I can take a look, but patience is key this week. Aston Villa in recent records play worse off Champions League is my issue if you look back. 100%, man. I've said this on this channel so many times. When Villa have a midweek fixture after Champions League, they come out and they absolute trash. They have no energy. They play so slow. Their midfield is just Morgan Rogers. That's all it is. Their whole team is just Morgan Rogers running up and down after the Champions League game. He never stops running, that guy. But do you think, like, Newcastle, I know you're obviously missing Lewis Hall down that left back role. Still a good team, though. Defensively, not bad. I do think Jarrod Bowen does have the potential for a big haul. Obviously, you can never bench Chris Wood because he's the GOAT of FPL. Yeah, do you know what? Having thought through that, the Villa issue in midweek, the fact that Watkins is off penalties now for Asensio, and also the fact that midfielders have an extra point for the goal and a potential 1 point for the clean sheet. Not that I'm thinking West Ham will get one against Newcastle. I think I'd go Bowen. Which means I'd also play Castagna over Dina. But I do expect Villa to be very lethargic in that game. Is going against Salah nuts? Yes. That is my answer to you, Luca. Potter's team doesn't score a lot of goals. Is he other issue? But I'm on starting Bowen over Watkins. I also think Watkins get reduced minutes from Malin being rested. I think Potter's, like, it depends what formation they play at the moment. He's been sort of mixing it up a little bit with West Ham. I think there have been, like, if I look at the goals scored by West Ham the last few games. Sorry if I was speaking away from the mic there. Maybe like no one heard what I just said. Yeah, if I look at West Ham the last few games, 2-1, 0-1, 1, 0-3. But also, like, those have varied just based off formations that Potter's played. And I actually think if you watch their games, like losing Crescencio Somerville has been a big loss to them, but they are starting to get their sort of attacking patterns under Potter down a lot better at the moment. Similarly to the way that he sort of set up that Brighton side, and actually like how I think Herzler's come in and adapted that a little bit. I think he sort of got that West Ham team playing a little bit better attacking. I can see them. You think they're going to play a back five? Yeah, when you say a back five, like a 3-5, back five. Yeah, you can call it what you want. 5-3-2, 3-5-2. I think that's probably what they'll play as well. I agree. But then I think that Bowen's then going to be playing in that sort of dual striker role with Kudus. So that means even more likely for points for him. So I think the more we talk this through, the more it feels like what Bowen is a nicer option. I think they have to play a 3-5-2 against Newcastle, because the midfield three of Newcastle are gonna just run all over them otherwise. They need to have more, because they're going to be pressing up super high. They often press up super high. Either West Ham like massive gamble and play like high midfielders to counter that, or they have to have more narrow. So I do think they'll play like 3-5-2, 5-3-2, whatever you want to call it. I think Wan-Bissaka will play much higher. Lilo, Beto or Larson for a 2-week punt? Sorry, definitely Beto. I'm just trying to stop myself from sneezing. Definitely Beto. Wolves suck without Cunha, man. Larson's terrible as well. Terrible. Zero, doesn't have a lot of shots. I know it's great fixtures, but just not a good option. Yeah, no, Hot Botman's gone for about 8 weeks. All's out for the season now, so I think Newcastle survive though. Livramento's good. Trippier's hopefully available. Depends if he's even fit, to be honest. Eddie Howe was saying. What's my team? Yeah, you want to give me some advice? This is my team for this week. And then whose team ID was next? Ali and Orange Apple. Sorry, guys. I know you just have to wait for me for a little bit, but I definitely will get to all of you guys' teams. So just bear with me. I'm not stringing it out. I just want to talk through with people and make sure I give them good advice. And I will make sure to do the same with you guys. So I think my plan is, Ben, just FYI, my plan is I'm rolling the transfer this week. Next week will have Isaac, Salah, Trent on the bench. I'll probably move Rodgers for someone, TBC, maybe Clivert, maybe Savino. I'm thinking, or let's see how City set up this week. I'm thinking of going Savino, going into the City midfield, trying to get some points through there. I will if I go for Haaland, it will be on wildcard in game week 30. And it just depends on the FA Cup results for me. If not, who am I captaining? This week, Salah. This week, Salah against Southampton, man. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm mostly confident. Luca _. You're trying to fake being the other Luca. Come on, Diaz. I need him to start. By the way, Rodgers is on my bench at the moment. Should I start him? I don't know the rest of your team. Is that the real Luca? That's not the real Luca. Sorry if you are also called Luca. It's just as. Oh, that is the real Luca. Oh, he switched accounts. Just FYI, it doesn't matter, but you got Salah and Palmer both playing Southampton. Ah, thanks. I will change that ASAP. It does matter. I like to be correct with what I'm showing on the screen. does matter. Much better. Thanks, Orange Apple. Who am I captaining next week in 29? Man, I don't think that far ahead. I do think that far ahead. Captaincy, yeah. I don't know. It's an interesting shout. Probably Chris Wood. Fakely. Probably Chris Wood. Chris Wood or Clivert. One of the two. I want to see how Brentford set up v Villa. And we'll see Ipswich and their injuries and who's come back. But yeah, will be a cool game week with no, or like potentially Savinho against Brighton, but we'll see. We'll see who I bring in the midfield. Ali K isn't here anymore. Just do my team. I don't believe you. I think he's still here. Mate. Ali, if you're still here, drop a message, mate. And then we'll move on to your team. He's gone to Lidl. Cheap food. All right, Orange. We'll do ya, and then we'll go back to Ali if he comes back. Is this you, mate? Alex Sturck. Hey, you're on the up, mate. You're on the up. You've obviously been listening to me for the last few weeks. You've been getting a few green arrows. Since game week 23, you must have started listening to me. All right, what were the discussions for your team? What were the discussions for your team? Oh, you're talking about everyone isn't free hitting in 29. You're going to have 4 blank fixtures, struggle without free hit. Game week 23, I stopped listening to you. Mate, you might have done. I did have a couple of bad weeks there. I don't believe you, though. I don't believe you. Who did you AM? If you AM'd Glasner, you were listening to me. All right, so you got Isak, Salah, Munoz, Trent. You got 1 transfer this week, 1 transfer next week. You've also got Stewart and Cunha. All right, so you got a few issues that you're going to end up playing with 10 in 29. Yeah, look, I mean, it's not the end of the world free hitting in 29, but I think if you save it, it's probably more valuable later. Like, I honestly think 29 is like not that great a game week. Like, even if you free hit, there's not a lot of great fixtures that you want to free hit into. If you only have 10 playing players as well, taking a -4 in game week 29 to get in an 11th playing player is actually really only a -2. Because if you think about it, they're going to get 2 points for just playing. So it's almost like a free, like not a free -4, but a cheaper -4. The only thing I would say about that is if you're going to wildcard in game week 30 anyway, it's probably just worth going in with 10. And the other thing I would say, I think it's so worth to keep even if I play with 1 blank playing. Yeah, I think so. But what I would say is I'd try and get your attacking players all playing in game week 29 because that's where you're going to have the most chance of getting hauls. So for me, your transfers have got to be Cunha and Stewart. And then you just have Isak, Trent, Munoz, Salah, all on your bench. Well, one of them stays. Ignore the live rank. This would easily be my worst season today. You wouldn't understand my luck this year. Mate, don't worry. I understand. Like, this sort of thing happens. I see last year you're 180k. So, sometimes you just have seasons where you're just unlucky. I had that maybe like 3-4 seasons ago. And my mate, who often listens to this stream, was beating me that year. And I was telling him every week, you're a joke. You get so lucky. You pick these random people that no one would pick in their right mind. Or you make these random benching decisions that no one would pick. And you're beating me. But it happens, man. Like, it just happens. Anyway, yeah, what I do, Cunha out. If you're probably going to look maybe like 2 weeks, if we're looking at like a sort of 2-week plan, and then maybe wildcarding in 30, getting the team back to where you want it to be. The next 2 weeks, the best attacking players are Beto, Evanilson, and Marmouche. Oh, you don't have Wood either. Yeah, Chris Wood, man. Chris Wood for 29. What I would say is I'd probably move Cunha. I'd probably make Stewart into Wood, if you can, and Cunha into someone else. I give advice to my friends who are FPL rookies and don't take it myself and get cooked by them. How do you think I feel, mate? I'm giving advice to you guys on the stream, and then Ben comes into the chat at 19k. Come on, Ben. Why are you in here listening to me, mate? You're 20k. You need to be giving me advice in this chat. I'll get you on stream. Drop me your email. I'll get you on stream. Ali K, just remember, mate, if you come into the chat, post and I'll do your team. Alex has been stealing all the attention recently. Only one free transfer, or so take -4 or wait for it. Yeah, so I think just one free transfer this week, one next week. This week you move Cunha to someone that's not Chris Wood, someone that has a nice fixture. So you move him to a Beto or a Evanilson, and then next week you move Stewart to Wood. Ali, pick me up some chips, mate, while you're at the checkout. Come on, bro. Do me a favour. Maybe a nice dry aged steak as well, man. Might get the barbie running tomorrow if it's good weather. Yeah, does that work? Like, if you do those transfers, I know you got 2.3 mil in the bank. I think that you have enough money to go Stewart up to Wood. Is that right? Tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah, I think you wait next week to bring Wood in because they're playing City this week. I mean, look, I've been wrong about Chris Wood before. So if you think Chris Wood this week is a better option than Beto or Evanilson, bring him in for Cunha. And next week, bring in someone else. Yeah, City is shambles defensively, I've got to be honest. But I do think the person that's going to expose them more is probably going to be Elanga this week, because it's transition where they have that issue. Gibbs White, Elanga. Those are going to be the two guys that I think are going to expose City centrally. I think them bringing Nico Gonzalez in has been a big help for them in the midfield. He's given them a bit more legs, a little bit more control. He stayed behind the ball, which has been really important for them. Sorry, just to clarify, would just start Nwaneri or Mikalenko? I'd still start Nwaneri, just because more potential for hauls, or like attackers I'd generally always start over defenders. And Mikalenko's not one of those defenders that generally gets attacking returns, except for last week. So yeah, I'd start Nwaneri. Yep, so those would be my shouts, mate. Hopefully that is of help to you. And as I was saying, and have been failing to do, let's get back to this wildcard draft. All right, so the 2 weeks Mikalenko's got any attacking returns, I've benched him. Yeah. I filtered your words there carefully. But yes, I have also done the same. No problem, bro. Please sub to the channel, like the video if I'm helpful to any of you guys, or if you just enjoy me chatting shit at you for a while, and you want to give me some back. You got to like and subscribe to be able to do that. Only subscribers are allowed to give me shit. Otherwise, I'm going to kick you out of the chat. No, it's all right. Don't worry. All right, so in the midfield, I think best attacking fixtures, again, like I said. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Come back for more great content. In the midfield, I think like City have such great fixtures that I'm gonna just stick Savinho in there. Luke, our bench one: Wood, Whistler, Rogers, Diaz, Bowen, Isak. Dirty. It would be Rogers. Having had this discussion about Villa post Champions League, although Rogers is normally the only one that does something, if you've got Diaz, it's very hard to bench him against Southampton, even though minutes is just, who knows. Bowen I like in that 3-5-2 against Newcastle. Isak you can't bench. Don't breaking news me. What's the breaking news? Let me get my Twitter up. I've been too busy talking to you guys, not looking. What's happening? You're concerning me. Breaking news. Don't lie to me now. Ali You full had me up on Twitter there, man. You full had me up on Twitter. He's taking an extra croissant. That's death. Yeah, sorry. Oh, that's really tickled me. As I was saying, I hope it was a chocolate pan of chocolate croissant. Yeah, I'd probably bench Rogers just because, like I said, he's obviously the guy that's the main driving force, but Villa have just been so pony. Wouldn't bench Isak, wouldn't bench Wissa in that game against Villa, who are generally poor. And then I think Bowen v Rogers, Bowen has more of a potential for a big haul, more likelihood, especially in that 3-5-2 up front. Diaz, if he starts against Southampton, then you just can't bench him in that game. Otherwise, why do you have Diaz in your team if you're going to bench him? But yeah, I think that's probably my thoughts as well. Ali, I apologise if you ever come back and watch this stream for the chat that's been going on. But if you do, feel free to come and give it back to Mango Pineapple over here, because he's been going at you. All right, let's continue. Midfield, I think Newcastle, like, the fixtures are so good that I would have Isak, and I'd probably bring back Gordon, and he will be back in game week 30. He'll miss West Ham. He'll be back in game week 31, because they're blanking in 29. I'll probably still have Gordon. But he missed game week 30. He'll be back for 31. Something to consider. The team might be so good that we just play someone else in 30. I love Clivert. I love Bournemouth's fixtures. I think he probably needs to be in there. Gordon, 4 games in a row blanks. Tough run. I think I took him out of my team in game week 24 or 25. Perfectly timed. And I brought him in like 18 as well, which is wild. He was such a good pick for me. Sorry for everyone else. Yeah, so I think the best sort of teams from an attacking perspective, Man City, Newcastle, Wolves, Bournemouth, Forest, have the best fixtures. And we're covering Man City, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Forest. Wolves, obviously, only really Cunha as an option. So for me, I just feel like Salah's just got to be there. I know people like... I know you guys are talking about moving him, but he's just got to be there for me. The other striker pick... Surely not Savinho. What's your reasoning? I'll come to it. The other striker pick I feel like could be anybody. You could like, this is honestly, you could go, if you went here, there's still money in that midfield. 5.3. There's players that you can find. I can't remember who it. Like, he's who I'd like, but I'd be just under budget. So the other option is that could work. So Savinho, this is my reasoning. 90, 90, 90, 89. City's fixtures: Brighton, Leicester, Man United, Palace, Everton, Villa, Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, Fulham. That is a lot of good fixtures. I don't think there's a lot of other teams that have fixtures that good. Triple Forest, City and Newcastle is definitely interesting. Yeah, I think if you look at the fixtures, and you really look at the fixtures, as I mentioned with my funky spreadsheet, which I maintain, and I'll show one more time, but I know everyone will hate this. Like, I do my own fixture difficulty tracker, and I base it way more realistically than the actual FDR. I base it off teams' conceded goals, where they are in the league, how they're performing currently. So, for example, the fact that Everton are performing slightly better at the moment from an offensive standpoint, their offensive ratings got a little bit better. Similarly, West Ham have got a little bit better defensively, but I probably haven't given them too much credit there. So then I analysed over from I think this is from game week 30. Yeah, from game week 30 to 38, how many teams played the worst teams and how many played the most of that. And the results came out with Man City, Wolves, Bournemouth and Forest. So I wanted to make sure I maximised their attack. Sorry, this is my defensive one. This is my attacking one. So the results came out actually as Brighton, Wolves, Man City, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Forest, and West Ham. Now, Jared Bowen would be interesting for West Ham, but I just think West Ham don't score enough goals at the moment. Southampton and Combe should be gold, not green, yeah. Basically, the light green ones are just Southampton, Ipswich, and Leicester. If you look at goals conceded, goals scored, they're bottom 3 for all of those. Like, those fixtures are the best fixtures. But what I thought was interesting was Brighton, which is why I really like potentially a Mitoma in a wild card. I don't mind a Minte. I think both of these guys are interesting. I do feel like Minte gets rotated a little bit more. I thought Newcastle was obviously a lock, having seen this, because you got Isak, and they've got a double in 32, which means Gordon is then just super nice. But they're like, all their games are packed pretty early, so you can always move out of them towards 35 to 38. Hey, Baruta, what's up, bro? Welcome back to the stream. I'm just showing some stuff that you'd probably like, mate. You'd probably be into like the spreadsheets that I do and all this malarkey. And then, Nottingham Forest, I was just surprised at how many good fixtures they had. Wolves, obviously, the issue is no Cunha, so not worth it. And all of their good fixtures are over the next sort of 3, 4, 5 weeks. So I ended up going for a rotation that looked something like this. With most weeks, us having like a good base of like 4 midfield, 4, 5 great fixtures every week out of the sort of 7 that you're going to have. So I think every week I've got at least sort of 5 up until 35. 35 is the week that's a bit of an issue for me. There's not a lot of great fixtures in 35. Obviously, Liverpool play Chelsea, Bournemouth play Arsenal, and it's really Man City v Wolves. So that game week 35 is the one, and like Leicester play Southampton and Ipswich play Everton. So like all of the target fixtures are not ideal. So Man City in 35 is interesting. That's sort of what I was looking at. Like the team outside Savinho shout. And I think Savinho definitely is someone that I've looked at and potentially I've switched that pick quite frequently. I've also looked at doing something like this becomes maybe like an Elanga. And Chris Wood becomes somebody else, like maybe even a Mateta. Once he's back and fit. I've looked at Nwaneri being in this team instead of here. I've looked at this being more of a Mitoma. I've even looked at it not being Haaland up top. I think it's not necessary to be Haaland. Like I've just looked at this being a flat front line of like Mateta. But I think if you don't go Haaland, then I feel like you do have to have a City midfielder. But yeah, for now I'm probably Do you have any thoughts on who it would be over Savinho, Orange Apple? Mango Pineapple? Nick! What's up, mate? What's happening? What is happening? I'm off out chat during the week. Thanks, Tiger. Drop some messages on some of the on the vids in the week. Make sure you have a watch and have a good week this week, mate. Good to see you. Thank you. Suku. Hey, bro. I said my team is pretty cooked at the moment. 1389322. I thought we were moving forward, onwards and upwards with your team, mate. That's not what I like to hear. I feel like you've had 48. No, that's not what I like to see, mate. But we've had like 4 green arrows in a row up until last week, mate. You shouldn't be too down about it. Asensio's nice, mate. Asensio's a nice shout that I've not thought of, actually. Villa don't have the nicest fixtures, but quite interesting. Semenyo I don't like, just because his finishing sucks, bro. Just got to have Clivert over him. Rather have Evan Elson up top. Brian, did I miss your team, mate? I'm so sorry if I did. I feel like I did. Alright, sorry, Suku. Let me do Brian first. Sorry, bro. I like just sometimes just team ID and I just miss them. If I ever do, yeah, please do what Brian did and just ping me in the chat and just be like, stop being a swat. Thanks, Orange Apple. Much love, bro. Appreciate you. Thanks for being in the chat. Very enjoyable to have you. Bri, 356k, mate. 356k. Not too bad this week. I know a red arrow, but only like 7k. Suki, we'll get back to you, man. Promise. All right. Apologies, Ali K, if you see this. It's all love. Ali, we love you on this channel, mate. Please come back. I can't wait for you to give Orange Apple some crap later. Thanks for subbing, mate. Much love. Anyone else, if you're listening, if you can just drop a like and a sub, it does really help the channel. I would really appreciate it. It's only a small thing, but it really does help my channel quite a lot. Brycey, I'll do the score predictions in a bit, bro. Let's just get through all these reviews. Brian, Verbruggen in goal, Huijsen, Gabriel. Of course. Okay, so firstly, we just look at what you're thinking for next week. You got Salah, Rogers, Isak, Mateta. Okay, so just one of them needs to come out. So then for this week, you got 2 free transfers at the moment. Tarkovsky, Gabriel's nice. Oh, you also have Michael Keane who's not playing. Okay, so you need to make those. Probably the transfers are going to have to be Michael Keane. And you got Dango as well, who's a bit of a Minix risk. Mateta, Rogers, Salah, Isak, Keane. So you're going to have to move 2 of those. Mateta and Keane, I think, are the ones that have got to go. Or Rogers and Keane, depending on if you want a striker or a midfielder. Oh, I mean, you can still bench. You can just do Rogers and Mateta. I guess you don't need to move Keane. It's just more like is assuming you're wildcarding in 30, which is what I suggest. Otherwise, if you're not wildcarding in 30, I'd probably try and hang on to Mateta and move Rogers to someone. Maybe like a Cliver. You got 5.4 mil in the bank. You are wildcarding 30? All right, that's fine. Then you can move Mateta and Rogers. It's better to target the attackers. You get more points from there. So you, of course, want to be playing attackers where you can. So on the Mateta one, like obvious thought is Chris Wood. Ronnie, captaining Saar. Good luck, bro. Nick, do you think I should roll or do some transfers? Nick, what's your team ID, mate? But I think we talked about this today. I think rolling's cool. Can't remember what our conclusion was. Yeah, so I think captaining Saar, Ronnie, good luck, bro. Good luck. Wild from me, I would say. That is wild. Captaining Saar. But, sometimes you need to be wild. But I would not do it. If I was giving you advice, I wouldn't do it. So I think, striker options, Wood, Beto, Evan Nilsson, Marmouche at the 4. Yeah, Wood, Marmouche, Beto, options, Mateo. Yeah, Evan Nilsson also, I think, as an option. Team ID's not appearing on stream. I'll pull your team up, Nick. I know how to find it, don't worry. After Suku. Or just Facebook me the team. Just screenshot me, send it on Facebook. Nick's a good mate of mine from Oz, so we used to live 10 minutes down the road from each other, and then 2 minutes down the road from each other, and then he left me and moved somewhere else, and I had to move because I was unhappy. Don't want Evan Nilsson with Dan going in at the moment. I think that's fair. I think for me, it's a little bit dependent on what order you make the transfers. So this week, are you keener for a midfielder or are you keener for a striker? Because I think you're moving Rogers as well, right? So if you want a midfielder, you could go like Pedro Neto at Chelsea. I reckon he'll play the 9 again. And against Leicester, good chance of some points. You could also go like, even Jacob Murphy at Newcastle or even Harvey Barnes at Newcastle. Give it. Oh no, let's not do that. They blank in 29. Sorry, stupid idea. You got Clivert obviously as an option. Double Bournemouth. You got Mbumo as an option. Villa and Bournemouth. I think those are really the options I see. And then, yeah, I don't love anybody else this week. No, you're not locking in Palmer Cap, Luca. Why are you doing this to me again? I can't support you, man. I'll support who else? Yeah, I'll support Diaz for you. Good night, though, bro. Good luck this week. Hope it goes well. Just not the Palmer captaincy. Salah captain. Come on, people. Come on. Yeah, so Brian, yeah, I like Neto as well. I think Maresca was talking about how he's tried Palmer up there, he's tried Nkunku up there. Neither of those guys really have the ability to sort of stretch the defense and run in behind with pace, and that's what Nicholas Jackson used to have up there. Bench Robinson or Kirkes. I ended up benching or saying this week bench Kirkes. Ronnie, Walter next. Start Isak or Clivert. Please, there's no, like, surely you can bench somebody else. I would start Isak, but surely you can bench somebody else, Walter. Send you my ID in Facebook. Thanks, Nick. I don't want to go overly expensive midfield, so I can afford Haaland next week, potentially. Haaland? For Mateta? Bro, you can't afford Haaland for Mateta. It's not possible. There's no point, man. It's Brighton. It's not that good a game. Just wildcard into Haaland in 30. Don't waste your transfers. I mean, I guess you can't roll any transfers anyway. You're taking one this week and one next week. Oh, you got two at the moment, though, right? Yeah, roll that other transfer through the free hit. Through the wildcard. I think I was trying to say earlier, we got distracted. You can roll your transfers through free hits, wildcards now. So if you have two frees and you roll it through a wildcard, you have an extra one the next week. Haaland for Isak and Enzo for Rodgers. Nah, man, I don't like that. Don't like it. I don't think you need to go Haaland. Just go Mamouche. If it's just for 1 week, you're going to wildcard in 30. You could go Savinho in the midfield next week. I understand that Haaland can haul, but I just think Brighton's not that easy a game. Brighton caused Man City a lot of problems. I know City have resolved some issues with Gonzalez in their midfield, but bench one Clivert Isak would stop it, Walter. You're killing me, Walter. These are all the people that I wouldn't bench. What's the rest of your team? Just post your whole team in here. I'm going to find someone. I'll find someone that isn't any of those people that you need to bench. It can't be. I mean, it's going to be Clivert. I can't bench Chris Wood. He is the FPL GOAT. He's literally the GOAT of FPL. Yeah, Brian, my advice, mate, is decide whether you'd rather go Rodgers to a Neto, Savinho, Mbumo, Clivert this week, or you'd rather go Mateta to a Mamouche, Wood, Evan no, you don't want Evan Nilsson, Beto this week. Could I do the two today, Neto and Wood in? Sure, you can, and you'd bench Dango. You definitely could, and you can bench Dango. I know that is a genuine concern. I've benched Dango this week. Yeah, I think you can do that. I actually think that makes your team stronger. I like that. I think that's cool. It's a nice option. Got to back Chelsea then this week, ain't I? Got to actually back Palmer to do something against my best instincts. All right. Hopefully that's helped, Brian. Let's get back to Suku because I started and then killed him off, and then we'll do Nick. Ronnie, did I answer your questions? I think I said bench Kirkes. play Robinson. Then Walter's trying to kill me with his team. But I would probably bench Clivert, mate. Lewis, I'll do you. I've got a couple more to get through before you, Lewis, if you don't mind. Cunha to Wissa, match day minutes. Cunha to Wissa or play both Kirkes and Mikalenko? Do you need the transfers for next week? I mean, you're probably going to sell Cunha anyway. Is it it's probably not -4, but I'd probably go Cunha to Wissa. I'd play Mikalenko and bench Kirkes. Yeah, Lewis, I think I'm wildcarding in 30 as well. No worries, match day. If you can hit the like, give us a subscribe if that was helpful. Really appreciate that. I know it's just a small thing, but it definitely helps. All right, Suku, mate. Let's get these green arrows coming back. You got 1 save transfer, 0.1 in the bank. Cunha in the locker. Firing the gun. Gabriel, 8 Nuri. I like that. I'll probably go Mikalenko as your other defender. 8 Nuri v Everton. Yeah, I think I'd bench Einar. I think Gabriel, Mikalenko, 8 Nuri, Kirkes. You could easily go Kirkes over 8 Nuri for attacking return potential against Spurs. I think that's a 50-50 call. Suki, you still here in the chat, mate? Hopefully. Give us a shout out if you are. Salah, Palmer and Bumo, Ace, bench, Rodgers or Dango? Dango for me, mate. I think Evan Nilsson probably starts. There is a chance Dango plays on the wing, but Evan Nilsson started in the FA Cup for Bournemouth, so I've got Dango on my bench this week, mate. So I would bench Dango. Yeah, he's still here. Nice one, 6. Yeah, Salah, Palmer and Bumo. Semenyo, like I said, don't really love. Luis Diaz, keep for this more week. Marmoush, nice. Isak. So, you got 3 at the back. No worries, Ice, mate. If you can drop a like and a sub, that'd be really appreciated if that was helpful for you. It really does help out the channel. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, Salah, Palmer, Mbumo, Luis Diaz. I don't really love Semenyo. You're obviously going to play Marmoush and Isak. Cunha's got to go at some point anyway. He could go today. I would then be benching Semenyo this week against Spurs, which maybe is not the best week to bench him. But I just think his finishing's so bad. Like, I really don't like Semenyo as a pick. But I think if you really like him, it's a good game week. Like, if you like him in your team, you're obviously picking him for these sort of game weeks where you got Spurs. Next week, you got Brentford, Ipswich, West Ham. Like, I feel like that's a good... There are fireworks going on outside my window. Yeah, I feel like it's not a bad fixture. So... Cunha's obviously got to go. Next week, you've got Salah, Diaz, Isak, Cunha, those 4. I think you can roll. Unless you're concerned in price. And then let's just double check live FPL. Cunha's going down tonight. Yeah, he is going down tonight. Wood's probably going up or something, isn't he? Yeah, so I think that's a problem for you. There's obviously going to be a bunch of price changes. Cunha's going down tonight, so if you're concerned about price, you maybe need to make that move. If you're going to make the move to a striker, it's got to be like a 2-game week thing. So it'd probably be Wissa, Beto. Wissa or Beto, I think, mate. But for me, I'd be benching Semenyo. If that happens, if you don't want to bench Semenyo, you bought Cunha for 6.7. What is he now? 7.0. So when he goes down, he stays the same price, really, anyway. It doesn't really, the price dip doesn't matter to you. Yeah, I think that makes a difference. But I think he will drop in the week. You might need to make an early transfer post the games. And I'd probably make that early transfer going Cunha to Wood. Like, I think this is your thought. I think you either bring in Chris Wood right now and you bench Semenyo, or you wait till literally you wait until the game is played. Like when the fixtures tonight, and both the fixtures are tonight, aren't they? Yeah, Forest play first and Wolves play Everton. You wait literally until right after the fixtures played, and then you just sell Cunha for Wood. I think that's got to be the move. And then the week after, your other move is Diaz out, I'm guessing. Salah, Diaz, Isaac. I mean, you don't even need to make a move, do you? Those are only three that are blanking. Yeah, I mean, you can wait. You can wait. You can probably roll that transfer. Have 2 wildcard in 30. Yeah, decide whether you want Wood over Semenyo this week playing. I can't make that call for you because I can never vote against Chris Wood ever again. I have disallowed myself for ever not picking Chris Wood as the correct option. Because the answer is always Chris Wood. Yeah, so sell Cunha right after that Forest City game. That will save you from the price changes. Because I think Wood's not going up, but I mean he'll probably go up at some point. It says tomorrow, so yeah, I think just sell him after that game. You can. It's not a stress because of Cunha. You don't lose value. You can wait until if you go sleep and wake up too late, miss the price rise. It's okay. Wood's not going to go up tonight, so as long as you do it within the next 2 price changes, you should be all right. But yeah, your team's looking sweet, man. I don't think you got too much to worry about. I think you're looking nice. All right. Nick and then Lewis. I should really just learn your team ID, Nick. Like old mate Finners. Where is Finners this week? Ralph Sutton. Hey, mate. Welcome to the chat. Bench one of Rogers, Tarkovsky, Kirkes, Dango, or Gabriel. Bench one. Oh. Wow, you got defenders in there. I think I'd bench Dango. Because I think Evan Nilsson starts. I'm just not sure whether Dango starts on the wing. I think Everton have a high chance of a clean sheet against Wolves with no Cunha. I think Kirkes can get an attacking return against Spurs. And there's always the chance of a clean sheet, as AZ Alkmaar showed. Oh, sorry, Suku. Today is benching Yeah, I'd bench Dango, Ralph. Latest on Mateta. Mateta's unavailable this week, Edvin. Not available. Concussion protocol. There was a potential he could make it back in 7 days, but Glasner said he's out. He should be back for game week 30. No worries, Ralph. You can drop a like and a subscribe, mate. I really appreciate it. It does really help the channel. I know it's just a small thing for you, but it makes a big difference to the channel. I know I repeat that line a lot, guys, so apologies for those of you that listen to me all the time, but it really does help. Sorry, bench Aina, Cunha, and 8 Nuri is what you're saying. Aina, yeah. Cunha, yeah. 8 Nuri v Kirkes. Yeah, 8 Nuri v Kirkes is your call, I think. I'll probably do that. Start Dango or Rogers. Rogers, T-Tac. T-Tac. Great name, bro. Yeah, I'd start Rogers. I just think Dango might be benched for Evan Nilsson. Feels like we got people coming in now. This is sort of like the half an hour where people just come in for like quick hit questions because they know I can answer. That's the pros of being a smaller streamer. I need to find a way of increasing viewerships on these deadline streams now because I had some like really big ones and now it's sort of come down a little bit again. YouTube sometimes just pushes out, sometimes doesn't push out my streams. I don't understand. I think my streams are great, personally. Appreciate it. I'll follow and be back. Thanks, T-Tac, bro. Much love. Yep. Feel free, like, drop your team IDs. I can do team reviews like I'm doing for everyone. Sorry, I just saw a comment. And, yeah, if you want to see the videos in midweek, obviously tune in, watch, drop comments on them. I reply to all the comments. Subir Paul. That's got to be a fake name. Sounds like a fake name. But I appreciate the great live stream, mate. But next time use a real name. Eamon Rohan. Hey, mate. Bench 1 out of Wood, Wisser, Cliver. Wow. That's a tough one. There's got to be someone else you can bench, mate. It'd probably be Wisser. Can never say to bench Chris Wood. He's the GOAT. My plan for hit 29 just got a little trickier. Edvin. Mine having a look. ID 5404651. T-Tac 189268. Today we go to Anfield away. Going to be another 9-0. Let's go, man. 9-0 be great. Thanks for the shout out, James. I thought that was you, Steve. It sounds like you're called Steve, mate. Thanks, S. Paul. Good to see you, mate. It's been all of 5 hours. Keep letting people think my name's James. It's good. It's good for the chat. Keep myself as an international man of mystery. Yeah, Edwin, I'll do you, mate. I just got Nick, one more, then you and T-Tac. And Lewis is after Nick. All right, we got half an hour left, so there's plenty of time. Stick around with me. I'll definitely do all of you guys in the next sort of 10, 15 minutes or so. Nick, buy 2 out of Guardiola, 8 Nuri Kirkes. Guardiola and 8 Nuri for me, mate. Actually, look, that totally depends. If you're going from game week 30, it'd probably be Kirkes. If you're going from like the next 2 weeks, it'd be the other way. So if you're going to wildcard in 30, then it's 8 Nuri and Guardiola. If you're looking from 30, then it's Kirkes and Guardiola. Yeah, I think you can roll Nick. Isak in for Dango. What's your transfer that you want to make, actually? Dango does concern me. What's the transfer that you want to make? Rogers? No, you're going to be playing Rogers. I think you can roll. I think you got the cover. I think you just roll. Lewis. Nick, we talking off about your team, mate. Plus you're beating me by 5k, so Can't spend too long on you. Start Dango or Mikolenko. Fundles. Rogers to Clivert. Yeah, I don't mind Rogers to Clivert. I don't mind that this week either. You can definitely make that move. But it's obviously not a necessity. Fundles, start Dango or Mikolenko. I'd probably still start Dango, just on the off chance that he starts on the wing. There's always more chance of getting more points for attackers. And obviously Mikolenko has a lower ceiling. That's why. Edwin, mate, I'm coming. Just give me this one with Lewis. Sold Cunha to João Pedro and wildcarding 30, probably free hit in a blank game week. Cunha to JP. Yeah, that looks nice. So you've got Salah, Isak, the only two blankers next week. And you'll probably be benching Greaves. Man, that team looks nice, bro. Mikolenko, Robinson, Timber this week. And Bumo, Salah, Palmer, Clivert. Who to bench? This is Kentaro. Hey, bro. Raya or Pickford? Raya this week. Man United can't score goals, man. Arsenal, good defense. You brought in JP, bro. Now you're killing me because I would actually bench JP this week. But if you don't bench JP, it's between Elanga and Wood. And tactically, I would say that Elanga against Man City, especially if Forest go like the 3-5-2 that they've played sometimes, tactically, I would actually say Elanga is a nicer pick. But as I've mentioned multiple times on this stream and on previous streams, I cannot go against Chris Wood, the GOAT. So although I think tactically Elanga's a better pick, I will tell you to bench him out of fear of the GOAT. Nish, hey bro, good to see you back in the chat. It's going all right, mate. It's going all right. 60k in the world at the moment, hoping for a green arrow this week. Risk it with Gakpo or start Enzo, Callum. I mean, look, if you got Gakpo, you put him in your team, but he's not going to start. He's not going to start for Liverpool. They won't risk him against Southampton this week to start. There's no need. They'll give him some extra rest. If they need to, they'll bring him. In fact, what is probably likely to happen is he comes on for 30 minutes to get some match fitness before PSG. Do you have plan to use wildcard? Yes, game week 30, Kentaro. Lewis, is that good, mate? So bench Einar, Greaves, and JP this week. If you don't like that, you can bench one of Elanga and Wood. As I mentioned, I think over JP. As I mentioned, I think Elanga is tactically nicer against City to hit them on the break with his pace. But I can't, within good reason, advise you to go against Chris Wood. Thanks, Cal. I think that's probably the opposite of what I'd do. I'd probably go Enzo. Mate. I just feel like he often... Maresca will invert him into that 10 role. Pedro Neto will probably play in the 9, running behind. Enzo's been picking up some real nice positions. He's also on some set pieces. And you're playing Leicester, who I think last time against Chelsea just tried to trap them in the midfield. But they also struggled with Enzo and Palmer when Enzo inverted into the 10. And they found it difficult to mark both of them. But I understand that obviously Gakpo could score 10 in 30 minutes against Southampton. But yeah, I'd go the other way. But yeah, you've got to make a decision that's best for you, man. Lewis, hopefully that's helpful, mate. Edwin, you, and then T-Tac, as you just snuck in before him with the ID. Bear with me, T-Tac. I am coming to you, mate. I'm coming to you. Ed's basically still have 6 players blanking in 29, but you do have 3 transfers. Did you make a move this week? You haven't made one yet. You have 3 free transfers plus 1 next week. I feel like I should move on Mateta this week to a Whisper or Wood. Potentially, you could also move Rodgers on. Isaac in for Mateta. Rodgers in for Dango. You don't want to be playing 4 at the back. Yeah. Mateta, Salah, Trent, Hendo. Oh, you got the goalie issue as well, don't you, Edwin? You got the goalie issue as well. But obviously fine for this week. But for next week, you have to make that sub. So Isaac, Rodgers, Mateta, Salah, Trent, Hendo. You need to get rid of 3 of the 6. But you got 4 transfers. So that means 1 of them you can make on somebody else. Honest view. I'm more scared of Dango than anybody else that you have in your team. So I'd probably like move Mateta and bench Dango. I would move Mateta for one of, assuming you're going to wildcard in game week 30. If I wildcard in 30, maximize it. Yeah, so Beto, Wissa. I mean, you could go Mamouche, but I don't love it. Evan Nilsson as well. Yeah, well, Wood is nice in 29. And Wood's also a captaincy option in 29. So I think just bear that in mind. Because look at your team now. Look at game week 29. Tell me who your captain's going to be in that week. I couldn't pick it for you. That's for sure. I couldn't pick it. And then do you have a thought on who you want to go to going forwards? Because Rodgers probably has to go. I'd probably go Clivert. That's maybe a potential captaincy option for you in 29. So Mateta, Wood, Wissa, Beto, Evan Nilsson, Rodgers to Clivert, and then Henderson's got to go for, I would go Sells at Nottingham Forest because their fixture run's amazing defensively. And they got Ipswich in 29. If you wildcard in 30, like that's the best fixture that week. And so then you've got one more transfer if you want to make it, which I think you wait and see. But those would be my plans, mate. Hendo to Sells. Mateta to one of the strikers suggested. Rodgers to Clivert. It might have to be Dango that you move on as well, because he might stop starting when Evan Nilsson, or now Evan Nilsson's back and fit. That's probably my thoughts, mate. I agree that the next 2 look better for Beto, but just have a think about captaincy for 29. If you're going to captain Clivert, that's fine. Maybe you go Beto. If you're not and you're thinking you might captain Wood, then maybe you go Wood now. Kensaro, my plan is safe transfer. I think there's someone before you, mate. T-Tac. And then you're in. Elliot Wong got Cunha, Hall and Gordon. Get Gordon out from Bumo this week. Only 1 free transfer. Yeah, I like that. From Bumo for Clivert. All of them good. Good moves. You prefer Beto, but I think Clivert for captain next week is solid. Yeah, then that's fine, mate. You go Beto, you go Clivert captain next week. And you move Henderson for Sells. And then your other transfer, you wait and see if there are any issues. But at the moment, I'd have Dango lined up to move somewhere. See what money you have. All right, T-Tac. I love that name, by the way. Don't know. Is it a nickname or something? But it's a superb name, T-Tac. Even if it's just a random name, but I like it. I don't know why. Thomas Rizrisky. Tom Clark Dinsmore. 380k, bro. We got to get you up into that top 100k. Got to get you a good game week in here somewhere. What did we talk about before, man? Sorry, there's so many chats, I always forget. Dango or Rogers? Yeah, I'll tell you start Rogers, eh? So over the upcoming weeks, you've bench boosted and triple captained. Nice. So you'll be probably AMing in 31 or 36. I still think 36 might be quite nice for an AM chip, T-Tac. I like the wildcard 2 in 30 still. Duncunia to Marmouche got one more free transfer. Cool. So next week you got Munoz, Trent, Salah, Isaac, Hall, all blanking. So yeah, I see you got one more. So you need to and Rogers. Isaac, Rogers, Hall, Salah, Trent, Munoz. Yeah, you got stuffed by Cunha, really, didn't you? So I guess your moves, you obviously want to focus on the attacking guys because you can get more points out of them. So I think if you're going to wildcard in 30, you just play with 10 in game week 29. It's not worth taking the -4 if you're just going to wildcard the next week. If you're not, and maybe you're going to wildcard in 31, then maybe there's a chance to take a -4 and play with 11. But I would focus your transfers on the attacking players because you got more chance for higher returns, right? So I'd be looking at, to be honest, man, honestly with your team, I'd consider free hitting in 29. I consider free hitting. If Dango doesn't start this week for Bournemouth, I'd consider free hitting in 29. Otherwise, I'd look at moving Rogers and otherwise I'd wildcard in 30 and just move Rogers and Isaac. You're taking no hits this season, yeah. Like I think you can plan through game week 34. It's a bit of a pain. And you got to get a bit lucky with what happens in the FA Cup, but I think you can. I would say if you don't free hit in 29, you move Rogers and Isaac as your other transfers over in the next two. Focus on maximum points from attackers. Go for maybe like Wood against Ipswich, and I don't know, Clivert or Savino against Brighton if you want to hit up Man City. And then wildcard in 30. Hey Tom, I'll definitely get to you, mate. I got one just before you, and then I'll do your team. Start 2 out of Foden, Dango, Gakpo, Robinson, or it'd be Foden. It'd be Foden and Dango. I just think like Gakpo is almost guaranteed 30 minutes off the bench. Like that's what's going to happen. If you're comfortable with that, start him. If you're not, don't. Dango, I think probably also that's what happens to him. But there's a chance he starts on the wing. So if you're not comfortable with that, then just start Robinson. But yeah, I mean, I think you got to start Foden and hope he plays. And the chances are, if he doesn't start, he doesn't come on off the bench. It's a tough one though, mate. Enzo for Salah and Haaland to Cunha. I'm assuming you mean Cunha to Haaland, Abraham's. Otherwise, please don't do that. Otherwise, you've lost your mind. Kentaro, sorry, bro. Let me get you up. All right, I need to start speeding up now, guys, because there are 13 minutes to deadline. I've got 2 more team reviews to chuck in. And rolling instead of Neto, start Rodgers or Dango. Rodgers, Brian. Dango might not start. Kentaro, you're going to roll. You get Isaac in there. Mate, I'd probably use a transfer and bench Dango. I'd probably use a transfer, move one of Mateta or Cunha to Wood. I think he's a captaincy option for game week 29, which is why I'd go for Wood. Or you go for Beto for this week. And then maybe Wood next week as your other striker option. I genuinely, if I were you, Kentaro, I'd make a transfer. And I'd bench Dango. And I'd have Mikalenko first on the bench and Dango second on the bench. And if you don't believe that I would do that, that's my team. Bench 1, Mikalenko, Kirkez or Robinson. Kirkez, official med. Mikalenko likely to keep a clean sheet against Wolves with no Cunha. Robinson v Kirkez, bit of a toss-up. Go for whoever you feel. I just felt like Robinson's slightly more attacking threat. Who would you transfer out first of Cunha or Hall? Cunha, well, it depends really. If you're going to go for Chris Wood in game week 29, then transfer out Hall now. If you... No money for Wood. Not for Mateta or Cunha, bro. It's a downgrade, no? For Mateta? 7.5 to Wood? What is Wood now? Yeah. Come on, man. You can afford Wood. Mateta down to Wood. Mateta down to Wood. Nick Lomeo, sorry, man. I wasn't talking to you. Oh, sorry. I was, yeah. That was it. Yeah. Cunha or Hall? Who would I transfer out first? Then I'd transfer out Cunha. Yeah. You always want to go attackers. You get more returns. Sorry. I know, Tom, I said I'd do your team. So let's get to it. 355. All right, 11. Sorry, I'm answering a bit quicker now, guys, just because 11 minutes of deadline. I know a bunch of questions are going to come in. So if you got follow-up questions, just ask me and I'll get to all your questions. Tom, Isaac, Gakpo, Salah, Kanate. No free transfers. Did you make a transfer this week, Tom? You got Vandenberg as well. You got to move Gakpo next week. I'd even consider moving Gakpo this week. I know that's crazy, but I would consider moving Gakpo for like Kluivert or for Savinho. Oh, no, maybe not for Savinho, maybe for Kluivert. And then, yeah, probably Kanate's got to go and wildcard in 30. Reckon I play Rodgers over Dango, Mikalenko over Robinson, Huijsen. I do, Edvin. That is what I would suggest. But if you were to pick one of Robinson or Huijsen over Mikalenko, it would be Robinson for the attacking returns. Rodgers over Dango because I think Dango doesn't start. Is Lewis Hall actually out for the whole season, Nish? Yes, he is. Tom for this week. Kanate, Gabriel, Robinson. Yeah, bench Vandenberg, Greaves, and maybe Dango. Thanks, Edwin. Have a good one, bro. Good luck. Okay, Mateta to Wood already. Kentaro? Is that what we were just saying? Bro, you're 64k now. I think you just nipped me. Did you just go ahead of me? Oh, no, I'm 61. Oh, I'm 1 point ahead of you, bro. I got to stop giving you this good advice. A few green arrows. Last 6 weeks in a row, green arrows, Kentaro. That's pretty good, eh? We're rolling. We're rolling. What to do, we think, with Isak starting this week? Isak will start this week. I'm pretty confident Isak starts this week. I'm going to quickly jump on Twitter and see if there's any team news. Forest City. Probably not. Yeah, anyone selling Salah is a psychopath. Just think if it's worth bringing Whistler or Bitto to sit on my bench as cover, or if I just roll. Isak's going to start, Nick. Isak's going to start for sure. Isak will start. All right, all like 95%. He's going to start. Team news. I mean, it's not like there's ever any team news these days. Very rare to get anything really that comes through. I don't know why people even think they're generally that much team news. Why do you bench Dango and play Mikolenko? I think he'll be benched. Dango's a real concern for me because Evan Ilson's back. He played up front in the FA Cup and they benched Dango. If I thought Dango was going to start up front, he wouldn't be where he is. Which, yeah, I mean, like, there's 7 minutes now, so maybe I should actually look at my own team. Maybe I should take a hit to get Hall out to a Liverpool defender. Not if you don't have to, Elliot. Not if you don't have to. Especially not to a Liverpool defender given 29. I am considering putting Dango first on my bench over 8 Nuri. This is my current, what my team's looking at. Like, have you only got 10 players, Elliot? If you don't, no. If you can do that and still have 11 playing players, no, actually, no, I just wouldn't do that. Not for a hit. Don't do that. Nish, thinking of benching Raul to play 8 Nuri. Everton not been that bad going forward, bro. Not been that bad. Don't mind it, though. I mean, don't mind it. What's the chances Mane starts? What are the chances Mane starts? I mean, Mane started the last Prem game against Wolves. So, I mean, like, it's not horrible. Not horrible, Nish. I know I've got 8 Nuri on my bench, but Mane's just started the last 2. Started Wolves and United in the cup. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Don't hate it. Ever since I brought in Raul for João Pedro, Raul started tanking and Pedro scored. Yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? Those sideways moves, sometimes it's not worth it. Well, maybe go 8 Nuri and then Raul gets a brace of pens. He did that already, this season. Guys, 5 minutes left to deadline. 5 minutes left to deadline. Captain Salah. Come on. Any last questions? Chuck them in the chat now. Probably don't have time for team reviews now. If you do want like team reviews done, I can... Give me your team IDs now. I'll do them after. But you need to give me them before 10 o'clock because once the game locks, I won't be able to check the teams. Happy to stay on for a little bit longer if people are interested in talking about whatever. Mainly because it's a good time for once in Oz. So I don't mind streaming for half an hour longer or whatever. Triple captain Salah against Southampton, anyone? I don't hate it. don't hate it. Mate, play Raya and bench Pickford. Yeah, that's what I would do, Kentaro. You're playing Arsenal defender over Wolves? Yeah, because I think Wolves suck. And United suck at attack. And Arsenal are a good defence, is my thoughts. Nish? 2 rogue from me. I understand that benching 8 Nuri is a bit weird, but when I look at the team, it just feels right. I feel like Everton are in decent form as well. Guys, 3 minutes to deadline. I'm actually really tempted to triple captain Salah. I'm really tempted to triple captain Salah. But I might save my triple captain for 36. I just feel like there's a chance that like I could like triple captain Haaland in game week 36 and he goes mental. Given the City are out of all the cups and stuff. This is one of those last minute decisions that I thought about all week. And when Salah scores 40, I'm going to get annoyed. I don't know. I just think he'll get 80 minutes. I'd rather him just play the 90 that he normally does. Maybe triple captain for Salah's not for me this year. Hasn't worked out. Yeah, I know he does. I think he'll obviously, he's going to start. He'll probably just get taken off at 80, 78, 80 rather than 88 that he normally gets taken off at. I don't think he's going to get taken off super early. He's out to break records. He's out to break Henry's assists. He's out to break... Nah, he's not going to play 60 minutes. He's going to play 80. He's out to break Haaland's goal-scoring record, Henry's assist record. Fresh leak, Mamouche doesn't start. I don't believe that. 1 minute, guys. Lock in your teams. Share your sauce, Edwin. Share your sauce. Foden starts, Mamouche bench. I don't know if I believe that. FPL, that is a reliable account. That is a reliable account. Saying Foden starts, Mamouche bench. 1 minute to deadline. That is crazy. I hope he's not trolling. It's FPL MCFC, FY, if anybody wants to look at the account. Is that bullshit? That's it. Deadline's passed. Deadline has passed. Oh my God. Pep is actually a joke. Pep is actually a joke. Shall I stay on till, if people want to chat, I stay on till the team gets released in like 30 minutes? I didn't triple captain Salah. I still feel like I should have triple captained him. Has it actually, the game's updated properly this week? All the best, lad. All the best, Nish, mate. Good luck this week. Game's updated correctly this week. No dramas. No dramas. Does anyone want to see this guy's this tweet? Hey guys, if you do get late team news, sorry if I'm not talking to Mike. If you do get late team news, make sure you share your source because like it's definitely going to affect people's teams and especially like last minute. You can't always rely on some stuff you read on Twitter. But having said that, I think this looks kind of legit. I'm actually shocked if he drops Mamouche. He's been so good. He's been such a difference maker for City. He thinks he's not. Do they think he's not going to get in behind? The only reason I can see him dropping Mamouche is because he thinks Nottingham Forest are going to sit back, and then City are going to have a lot of the ball, and Mamouche running in behind is not going to be as effective as Foden in between the lines. Which, to be fair, I kind of see that from Pep's perspective, but I think Mamouche has been great at getting in between in those gaps and stuff. I think he's been like superb, to be honest. Is this guy taking down his tweet? Don't tell me he's taking down his tweet. No, he's not. Because Mamouche is observing this Ramadan chat is such G up, man. That was wild. That was like last minute times. I think I said that at like 9:58, so I'm sorry. If people didn't have a chance, and he does actually gets benched. Because that sucks. Crazy. How's everyone doing? Still on stream? Anything you want me to talk through? I've got, like, I'd say probably the key things to think about in the upcoming weeks is schedule, upcoming schedule. When you're going to play your chips, which I think wildcard and 30 is the best week to wildcard. Don't worry about the doubles. I think when you play your triple captain, I mean, obviously depends on the doubles. I think the nicest one would imagine if Saka came back for game week 33 and Arsenal doubled against Ipswich and Palace. That'd be nice. Bournemouth double against Palace and United, 33. Clivert triple captain. Man City, Southampton, plus a Bournemouth or Aston Villa in 36. Sorry, plus Aston Villa it would be, I think. Southampton, Aston Villa 36, Man City, triple captain Erling Haaland. Honestly, I feel like if they make that, that's a must. Any other nice ones? Chris Wood, Leicester and Brentford, 36. Potentially. These are all potentials, right? Son Heung-min. Crystal Palace and Aston Villa, game week 36. Wouldn't that be an absolute turn up for the books? Can't see that happening, though. Spurs have got to get to the Europa League finals for that. That's not happening. Whoa. Predictions for this week. Arsenal to keep a clean sheet against United. Brentford to win 2-0 via Aston Villa. Bournemouth to absolutely smoke Tottenham. Maybe like 4-1. Brighton and Fulham to be a very disappointing game to watch. both teams to score in Chelsea versus Leicester. Palace are going to beat Ipswich with or without Mateta, but they're going to probably score less goals without him. Maybe... Did you see, actually, Ipswich against Palace, the last game? Ipswich just didn't come out to play. Maybe Ipswich go after Palace, because they were rubbish in the last fixture. Palace 2-1. Cheeky Delap goal. Everton Wolves, that's going to be a not very interesting game. 1-0 Everton. Liverpool v Southampton. (2-1) Liverpool. City v Nottingham Forest. I can't pick that game. Let's wait till we see the teams come out, and then I'll give you that one. Newcastle West Ham be an interesting one. Depends how Potter sets up, I think. If he sets up as a 3-5-2, I think West Ham have got a bit more of a chance. If he doesn't, then they could be in trouble. They could be in trouble. Is that all the games? Yeah, that's all the games. That is all the games. My pick for the week. Player pick for the week is... Like, if I had to pick one player, maybe if I had to pick one player this week. Daniel Munoz versus Ipswich. Boss, hello, bro. Hello, how's it going, mate? It's been a while. Nice to see you back on the stream. How's it going, Ahil? How's your team running, man? Yeah, bro. Very busy, but life is good. I can't complain. Just very hectic at the moment. I've got lots going on. FPL's going all right. 61k in the world. I've got to push for the top 10, maybe. Got to push for the top 10. Not sure I'll make it. I can't even remember my team ID. That's the problem. Top 10k. I'm 50 points off top 10k. That's definitely catchable. That's good chip strategy. I've started to stop looking at team value lately. I'm a bit concerned that that's going to affect my rank. But I sort of feel like once I play my wildcard in Gameweek 30, and that's it. Like, I'm just making transfers. I don't need to worry too much about team value anymore. I've sort of had to worry most of the season, but now like it's starting to get to the stage where there's a bunch of cut price options that are actually probably the good options. So unless I want to go Haaland, Salah and Palmer, which is a genuine consideration, maybe I'll just take it easy. Don't worry about making early transfers. Make sure I've got enough players every week and don't have any issues. I think that's probably the way to go now, rest of the season. Unless you don't have very good team value at the moment. Like, my team values is great. My team value's 105.5. So yeah, if you have anything that's over 104, you shouldn't worry about team value. I think you can pick good enough players with what you got. If you lose a bit of value, so be it. You got to make sure you got playing players over the next couple of weeks. I think I gave this advice a few weeks ago, to be honest. Guys, it's been a good stream today. Very good stream. If anyone's got anything they want to chat about, chuck it in the chat. I'm sort of hanging around just for this sort of Man City team news. And Forest team news. Hang on, here we go. No, that's not it. Sorry. Absolutely. Come on, just give us the lineups. They'll probably give him at 10:30. Hang around 15 minutes. Anyone interested? If you're not interested, then I'll call it quits. If no one's got anything to chat through for the next sort of 15 minutes. Yeah, if that's the case, thank you everyone for watching. Please remember to just hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel. Just a small thing, but definitely helps this channel grow quite a lot. I definitely appreciate everyone that does that. So yeah, please give us a shout out. Make sure you watch all the videos through to the end, post on the channel. I will be linking like a shop with some merch and stuff to this channel now that it's been monetized. And if you are interested in anything or there's something specific that you want, let me know and I can make a design. Just the start of this journey at the moment, but hopefully it's improving week by week. Now I've got the new mic, I've got better lighting, obviously better graphics, chat in the live stream, like everything's improving bit by bit. So yeah, hopefully the content's getting better for you guys and you're enjoying it more and more. And yeah, just keep getting those green arrows, because I think at the moment everyone watching these streams have been positive green arrows for the last, 10, 15 weeks now. We've been churning up the league, so keep it up. Good luck this game week. And yeah, this has been your English Aussie. Thank you so much, guys. I will catch you next week. Have a great week, everyone.